Chapter 2799. In an instant, Xia Ping immediately took out a divine artifact, the Book of Karma. The dark golden book flipped open, and countless pages of paper appeared. The pages were engraved with dense hellish runes, as if forming a supreme scripture. Immediately, the scriptures of hell merged together and enveloped Xia Ping's body. From the inside out, they were densely packed, forming a spherical karmic barrier. Endless karmic laws appeared in the Book of Karma, emitting an immense karmic power. Dong dong dong. In that instant, the attacks of the three angels arrived. The world-splitting blade of light, spear of judgment, and arrow of destiny struck Xia Ping's body at the same time. The power of the death, karmic, and destiny laws erupted at the same time, all blasting against the karmic barrier. An earth-shattering boom erupted, producing extremely terrifying energy waves. The energy waves of such laws swept out in all directions, affecting a radius of tens of thousands of light years. Everything in its path was shaken into dust. What? In the next second, the expressions of Archangel Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut all changed. They discovered that their attacks with all their might had landed on the human Fengdu. Originally, this was a sure-win attack. They had high hopes that it would completely kill the human Fengdu and make him disappear from this universe. However, they discovered that when their attacks landed on Fengdu's body, they were all blocked. It seemed as if he was completely unharmed, and they could not break through his defenses at all. No, not only were they unable to break through his defenses, but from the densely packed energy barrier on his body, it seemed as if all their attacks had been reflected back at him. Damn it, he can actually reflect our attacks back at him. What kind of joke is this? Archangel Ludwig's expression changed drastically. He was in utter disbelief. This was because he had never heard of or seen something like this. What kind of treasure could reflect the power of a peerless divine artifact? This was the first time he had seen something like this. In fact, he had never even heard of it before. Divine artifact. This kid has a divine artifact that can reflect all attacks. Archangel Goebbels screamed. He could immediately tell that the Book of Karma that Xia Ping had taken out was clearly emitting the aura of a divine artifact. There was no way it would be wrong. Are you kidding me? This brat already has the Thunder God's hammer, an unparalleled divine weapon, and an attack that can reflect attacks. Who can defeat him? Wouldn't that be heaven-defying? Just how many good things did this guy get from the God of War's inheritance? Archangel Helmut's face turned green. At the same time, he was incomparably resentful towards Xia Ping, because the treasure left behind by the God of War originally belonged to the angel race, but now it had been snatched away by this human Fengdu. One could imagine how furious he was right now. If it wasn't for this kid, their angel race would have definitely obtained all the benefits instead of being monopolized by this human race saint. Rumble, but no matter how shocked, envious, and infuriated the three archangels were, this power still bounced back at them. In fact, it was twice as fast as before. After all, this was a full-powered attack from them, so its power was not to be underestimated. Even an invincible saint would have to give it his all in the face of this attack. Otherwise, he would definitely be heavily injured. Therefore, the three archangels felt unprecedented pressure. In their entire lives, they had never experienced being attacked by their own power. This was the first time in their lives. At this moment, they finally understood how terrifying the pressure their enemy was facing. Angel Domain, Holy Light Heaven. In an instant, the three archangels Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut roared angrily. The domains on their bodies immediately erupted, and they instantly fused together. Immediately, with their bodies as the center, endless white-hot holy light erupted. It seemed to form a huge heaven domain, covering the void in all directions. Vaguely, under the cover of this holy light, it seemed as if a heaven world had been born. Inside, there were countless angels chanting, forming densely packed angel runes. These angel runes also quickly formed a huge holy light barrier, stacking layer upon layer, turning into 108 layers. It was as if this was the barrier of the world. Boom! At this moment, this force instantly bombarded the holy light heaven, erupting with unparalleled power. Unfortunately, no matter how hard the three archangels Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut tried, they could not withstand such destructive power. After all, offensive power was always much stronger than defensive power. With a few cracking sounds, the void barrier formed by the holy light immediately shattered like glass. Then, it pierced through the holy light heaven, and the terrifying destructive power bombarded their bodies. Ah! Immediately, the three archangels Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut all let out miserable cries. In an instant, they were blasted away by this huge force, flying hundreds of millions of kilometers. With it, they could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. The terrifying power of laws bombarded their bodies. Even with the power of the life and death domain, they could not convert this power in time. In an instant, the three archangels were severely injured, and injuries that could not be healed in a short period of time appeared on their bodies. Damned humans, by Du, Archangel Ludwig's eyes were filled with anger as he stared at Xia Ping. He felt unprecedented anger, and he encountered an unimaginable defeat. Originally, he thought that his mission this time was in the bag. Who would have thought that this would happen? Not only did he not kill the Saint of Fengdu quickly, but he was also severely injured by the other party. Moreover, this human was a saint who had just advanced to the Archean realm, while they were invincible realm saints. How could they accept such a ridiculous result? If this matter were to spread, they would probably become the laughingstock of all the races in the universe. Kill! However, at this moment, Xia Ping had no intention of stopping, nor did he give the three archangels Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut any chance to fight back. He grabbed with his big hand and took out the third divine artifact, the reincarnation pen. Damn it, what else does this kid want? Archangel Goebbels saw that Xia Ping took out another magic treasure, and his face turned green. He was afraid of this human, who always had an endless number of magic treasures and countless tricks. Another divine artifact. Damn it, just how many more divine artifacts does this human have? This is too much. Archangel Helmut's face was as black as charcoal. He could feel that the mysterious pen was emitting a strong aura of a divine artifact, and it contained a terrifying power of sharpness. In terms of power, it was not inferior to the hammer of God of Thunder just now, and might even be stronger. Third Sect Leader. Chapter 2800. To be honest, the three angels, Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut, could not understand. For ordinary saints, even if they were from the top races, it was already an incredible thing for them to own a god artifact. But what about this Fengdu of the human race? To think that he would take out legendary weapons one after another. It was as though legendary weapons were worthless. Even if he had a lot of treasures on him, he should know when to stop. Even if these god artifacts might have been obtained from the god of war's inheritance, it was still too much. Moreover, each god artifact was so powerful. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would not have believed that a saint would have so many god artifacts on him. This was simply unimaginable and unbelievable. Reincarnation Brush. Xia Ping held the reincarnation brush in his hand and channeled a huge amount of world energy into it. A terrifying sharp force erupted from the reincarnation brush, emitting a terrifying power that could pierce through the sky. Vaguely, he seemed to have turned into the god of hell. With the reincarnation brush in hand, he drew reincarnation, cut yin and yang, and determined life and death. It was as if he controlled the life and death of all life in the world. In the next second, the reincarnation brush blasted towards the three angels, Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut. It blasted out three incomparably sharp beams of light that turned into three beams of black light. It was as if a beam of black light was enough to cut the universe's vacuum in half. Nothing could stop the sharp power of the brush. Not good. The expressions of the three angels, Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut, changed drastically. It was as if their fathers had died, and their faces were extremely ugly. They felt a fatal danger. It was as if the three beams of black light would break the balance of their life and death domains, pierce through their souls, and reap them into the endless cycle of reincarnation. Block! The three angels bellowed out furiously. They unleashed the power of life and death within them, pushing the power of the three supreme quality saint artifacts to their limits. Immediately, the three peerless saint artifacts, the Spear of Judgment, the world-splitting Blade of Light, and the Sun Divine Bow, shot out at the same time, turning into three scorching suns that blocked in front of them. In an instant, the reincarnation brush's sharp power blasted over, bombarding the three peerless saint artifacts. Immediately, a terrifying destructive power erupted, and the spiritual connection between the three peerless saint artifacts and the three angels was completely severed. Pooh! The three archangels, Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut, had not expected something like this to happen. Their spiritual connection with the peerless saint artifacts had actually been severed at the same time. This was basically a heavy blow to their souls in an instant, causing them to suffer an unimaginable backlash. They spat out a mouthful of blood. Even the sharpness of the reincarnation brush was not limited to this. It directly blasted toward the void of the universe in the distance, piercing through the void. In an instant, it cut the restriction formation in all directions into two halves and instantly shattered. Oh no! The expressions of the three angels changed drastically. They could feel that the restriction array they had painstakingly set up was to isolate the connection between this part of the universe and the outside world. But now, with just a light stroke of this brush, it had actually disintegrated the Angel Clan's powerful restriction array formation, and it was easily smashed into pieces like glass. At this moment, this place could no longer seal this human. At the same time, it could no longer resist the fluctuations of the battle. But even if they wanted to stop him, they were powerless. At the beginning, the rebound from the Book of Karma, coupled with the reincarnation brush severing their connection with the three peerless saint artifacts, caused their souls to suffer a backlash. A series of blows made it so that they almost had no strength to fight back. Even with the power of an invincible saint, it was difficult to reverse this situation. Swoosh! In the next second, Xia Ping grabbed the three peerless saint artifacts, the Spear of Judgment, the world-splitting Blade of Light, and the Sun Divine Bow, in his hands, taking them for himself. Human Fengdu, how dare you? Seeing this scene, Archangel Ludwig was shocked and angry. These were extremely important peerless saint artifacts of the Angel Clan. They were the treasures of the clan, and they could not be lost. Now, if they fell into the hands of this human Fengdu, not only would the Angel Clan suffer a huge loss of power, but the power of the human clan would also skyrocket. In this way, the Angel Clan would be at a complete disadvantage. How could they let such a thing happen? Human Fengdu, immediately let go of the three peerless saint artifacts of my clan. These are not treasures that a lowly human like you can get your hands on. Archangel Goebbels angrily ordered Xia Ping to immediately give up on the three peerless saint artifacts. It's useless, human Fengdu. These are treasures of my Angel Clan, and they have the Lord's imprint on them. Even if you take them away, you won't be able to use them at all. Archangel Helmut threatened, if you dare to take away these three peerless saint weapons, you will be making an enemy out of the angel race. Have you thought about the consequences? That's right. This is the decisive battle between the main universe and the abyss world, and our Angel Clan is an important battle force of the various races. If you take these three peerless saint artifacts, it will cause our Angel Clan to betray us. Have you thought about the consequences? You will become a sinner in the eyes of the various races. You are a sinner, do you know that? Archangel Goebbels threatened. He indicated that if Xia Ping dared to take these three peerless saint artifacts, the Angel Clan might betray them and join the Abyss Demons. What does that have to do with me? Xia Ping looked at the three archangels lazily with disdain. He didn't believe that the Angel Clan would betray them. After all, the Angel Clan and the Abyss Demon Clan were polar opposites. There was no room for them to cooperate. They were both mortal enemies. Of course, the most important thing was that even if the Angel Clan betrayed them, he wouldn't be afraid at all. The war between the various races wasn't something that could be decided by a single race. However, there's still that Lord's imprint on them. It seems like I need to clean them. Xia Ping used his divine sense to sense that there was indeed a tyrannical imprint inside. It contained a powerful restriction power. Even the infernal golden crow flames wouldn't be able to break it in a short period of time. But he didn't have that much time to waste. Fortunately, he still had the Yellow Springs holy water. This was a treasure that could dissolve the souls of all living things. Even the demon god was extremely fearful of the Yellow Springs holy water. If even the demon god was afraid of it, then there was even less of a need to worry about the abilities of the Angel Clan's lord. Zing in an instant, Xia Ping took out some Yellow Springs holy water and poured it on the 3 peerless saint artifacts. Immediately, when the Yellow Springs holy water dripped on them, it was like sulfuric acid entering the ground. It corroded a large amount of soul matter and produced clouds of white mist. At the same time, the spiritual imprint inside the 3 saint artifacts was instantly wiped out. Chapter 2801. Boom. However, when the Yellow Springs holy water seeped into the depths of the 3 peerless saint artifacts, it immediately came into contact with a mysterious spiritual imprint. It seemed to be an extremely complicated angelic rune. Its appearance was like a ball of light, releasing a scorching light. Even Xia Ping could sense that such a spiritual imprint was extremely dangerous. It was many times more terrifying than the spiritual imprint left behind by an invincible saint. If it was an ordinary method, it would be impossible to remove such a spiritual imprint. However, under the corrosion of the Yellow Springs holy water, even the soul of a demon god would be melted. There was no spiritual imprint that could not be removed. ZZT in an instant, the white balls of light emitted clouds of white smoke. It seemed as if there were waves of shrill cries coming from the depths of the white balls of light. It was as if there were billions of angels roaring angrily, or as if there were countless demons screaming. Vaguely, there seemed to be a ball of terrifying angelic energy coming from the depths of the white balls of light. It seemed as if it was communicating with an unknown existence in the void of the universe. However, in the next second, the Yellow Springs holy water seeped into the balls of light and instantly cut off this connection. The spiritual imprint inside was completely removed, leaving nothing behind. It seemed as if there was a furious roar coming from the depths of the void at this moment, causing one's heart to palpitate. Impossible! Seeing this, Archangel Ludwig's eyes widened. He simply could not believe what his eyes were seeing. This was because these 3 peerless saint artifacts not only had the spiritual imprint of their demigod-level angels, but also the imprint of the Lord. Even if an invincible saint were to take them away, he would not be able to refine them. They were also extremely confident. However, this scene almost caused their faith to collapse. They did not know what this human had done to actually be able to remove even the imprint of the Lord. This was simply unimaginable. Damn it, what did this human do to these 3 peerless saint artifacts? Archangel Helmut clenched his fists. He could not understand no matter how hard he thought. He could not understand how there was a way to remove the imprint left by the Lord on the peerless saint artifacts. If the owner's mark was left on them, then no matter where these 3 peerless grade saint artifacts went, they would be found by the Angel Clan and would eventually return to the Angel Clan. Sometimes, they would even deliberately leave the angel race's weapons behind and let other enemies pick them up. This way, they could use the imprints on the angel race's weapons to know where the enemy's nest was and annihilate them in one fell swoop. This could be regarded as a method unique to the Angel Clan. Countless races knew that taking away the Angel Clan's magic treasure would not be of any use. Instead, it might cause a lot of trouble. This human is a great enemy of my Angel Clan. Archangel Goebbels's pupils constricted, his killing intent surging. Because such a thing had never happened before, if this human grasped the method to remove the Lord's imprint, then it would simply be a disaster for the angel race. In other words, this guy could deprive the angels of the privilege to use the angel race's weapons at will, and even take them for himself. This was a huge blow to the angel race. Such a thing was simply unheard of and unseen. Not a bad magic treasure. Xia Ping waved his hand and immediately placed the 3 ownerless peerless grade saint artifacts into the world of the classic of mountains and seas. He had already witnessed the power of these 3 peerless grade saint artifacts from the Angel Clan. Every single one of them was extraordinary. Although they were not comparable to the divine weapons he had, they were still quite amazing. Even among the peak races, there were not many peerless sacred weapons. Human Fengdu, you are courting death. Immediately hand over our race's peerless sacred weapons. Otherwise, our angel race will not rest until you are dead. Hand them over and die. When the three archangels, Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut saw that Xia Ping had actually taken the three peerless sacred weapons as if they were his own treasures, they were immediately filled with rage. They felt an unprecedented anger, as if a lot of flesh had been cut off from their bodies. It was simply unbearable. Not rest until you are dead? The next time we meet, it will be the time of your angel race's annihilation. Xia Ping looked at the three archangels indifferently. He did not care about what the three archangels thought at all. Since they dared to kill him, they would not rest until he was dead. Was there any reason for him to be polite? As soon as he finished speaking, his body flashed and he immediately fled into the distance at an extremely fast speed. To be honest, he did not want to continue fighting. Although he had the upper hand just now and was suppressing the three demigod angels, the truth was that he was already an arrow at the end of its flight. After all, using the divine weapons consumed too much of his world power. Moreover, he had used his full strength. After a few attacks, he had used up most of his world power. If it were an ordinary primordial saint, it would probably be difficult for him to use the divine weapons. After all, with their world power, they would probably not be able to withstand a single attack from the divine weapons. Only a primordial saint like Xia Ping, who had unbelievably strong powers in his body, could squander the attacks of the divine weapons so many times. Even so, he could not continue squandering. If he continued to fight, he was afraid that he would not have any power left in his body before he could kill the three demigod angels. Not to mention that there was a mysterious powerhouse behind the three demigod angels. Who knew what other trump cards these demigod angels had not used? Therefore, after careful consideration, Xia Ping felt that he had gained a lot this time. There was no need to continue fighting with these demigod angels. Human Fengdu, don't leave if you have the guts. The three archangels Ludwig, Goebbels, and Helmut were shocked and furious. They did not expect this bastard to run away in the blink of an eye. They immediately used their full speed and tried to chase after him. However, Xia Ping's speed was really too fast. He was not much slower than these demigod angels. With a thought, he could teleport tens of millions of light years. Coupled with the fact that he had the help of the formless mask, he could easily hide his aura. In just a few breaths' time, he disappeared from the perception range of the three archangels. How can this kid be so fast? He's even faster than us demigods? Great Angel Ludwig's expression changed. He couldn't sense Xia Ping's aura within his range of perception. Unwilling to give up, he scanned back and forth, penetrating every dimension and searching every inch of space and time. However, it was to no avail. It was as if this kid had disappeared into thin air. This human is too strange. Archangel Goebbels' eyes revealed a hint of coldness. I feel that this human might not only have obtained the inheritance of the god of war, but also the inheritance of other gods? Waves of intense killing intent emanated from his body as he voiced his speculation. Chapter 2802. Impossible. How can one person obtain the inheritance of more than two gods? Archangel Helmut screamed. He felt that this was impossible. Actually, there was a reason for this. After all, the inheritance of gods was exclusive. After obtaining the inheritance of the god of war, it was impossible to obtain the inheritance of other gods. After all, the power of two gods would conflict with each other. It was impossible to fuse them together. Moreover, before one wanted to inherit the power of a god, they would sense the power in the trial taker's body. If they discovered the power of other gods, they would instantly kill or expel the trial taker. Therefore, he had not thought of this at first. Nothing is impossible. Although this is really unbelievable and impossible, who can be sure that there is no other way to do it? Perhaps he has a way to deceive the gods. Archangel Goebbels narrowed his eyes. You must be joking. Obtaining the inheritance of one god is already quite terrifying. This human has obtained the inheritance of more than one god. Isn't this heaven-defying? Archangel Ludwig's expression was very ugly. If this speculation was true, then it was only natural that they failed this time because they had no idea what the Saint of Fengdu was like. Spread this news and let all the saints know about this kid's secret. At that time, his enemy won't just be us angels. Everyone will be coveted by him. I want him to be the target of everyone. He won't be able to eat or sleep in peace. Archangel Helmet was furious. He hollered. His hatred for Xia Ping had reached an extreme. He wanted to spread the secret that this Saint Fengdu had multiple god inheritances. This way, all the invincible saints in the universe would covet this kid. When that happened, there would probably be no need for the angels to do anything. All kinds of plots and schemes would attack this Saint Fengdu. By then, this Saint Fengdu would probably be dead for sure. Ignorant. This is just the lowest level of schemes. Hearing this, Archangel Goebbels laughed coldly. With this kid's strength, will he be afraid of such schemes? Even 3 demigod-level angels working together with 3 peerless sacred artifacts can't kill him. How can the invincible saints of other races kill him? Moreover, he has the protection of the human race's patriarch. After this, he will be more cautious. I'm afraid it will be difficult to find such an opportunity to ambush him next time. The other 2 angels were speechless. Indeed, even the 3 demigod-level angels working together couldn't kill this Saint Fengdu. How could the invincible saints of other races do this? Moreover, the demons of the abyss were invading right now. The entire universe was facing a great enemy. The saints of the major races wouldn't attack the invincible saints of the human race just because of this. After all, if there was internal strife in the universe right now, the demons of the abyss would probably laugh to death. Compared to the life and death of the entire race, the sages of the other peak races also knew the severity of the matter. Even if they knew that the other party had treasures on them, they could not brazenly attack them. If they did, they would. Saints of the saint of saint would be killed. Saints had then that they could 1 1 and 1 1 1 1 1 and 1 1. This was saint 1 saints there's no rush. Although this kid is crafty and full of tricks, our angel tribe isn't to be trifled with. Return to the angel tribe and report this matter to the Lord. Report this to the Lord. Is there a need to make such a big deal out of it? Hearing this, the 2 angels became serious. Under normal circumstances, they wouldn't contact the Lord. After all, the Lord wouldn't casually hear their prayers. Saint Fengdu Saint is very unusual. He has the inheritance of several gods. He's not someone we can deal with. Only the Lord can capture him. Archangel Goebbels said in a deep voice, although this sage Fengdu has caused us a lot of trouble, he is still a moving treasure trove. If we can kill him, I'm afraid that all the divine inheritances on him will be ours. He clenched his fists, his eyes filled with greed. I see. The other 2 angels couldn't help but nod. Although they hated Saint Fengdu, they had to admit that this kid was like Taoist of many treasures. If they could kill this brat, then their angel clan would become rich overnight. Yes, they would become rich overnight. Even with the wealth of the angel race, they still coveted the treasures on Saint Fengdu. In the blink of an eye, the 3 angels left this place and quickly returned to the headquarters of the angel race. And the news of their return quickly spread to the upper echelons of the angel race. How was it? Did you bring back Fengdu's head? A primordial angel couldn't help but ask. We failed. Archangel Helmet said helplessly as he recounted everything that had happened in detail. What did you say? This time, 3 demigod angels couldn't kill Saint Fengdu, and he even escaped? It's fine if he escaped, but the 3 peerless sacred artifacts of the angel race were taken by this human saint. What kind of joke is this? A primordial angel couldn't help but scream. Shame, this is a great shame. Another primordial angel roared, a lowly human dares to do such a thing. This is an insult to the Lord, a blasphemy to the Lord, a trampling on the dignity of the angel race. We must capture him, tie him to the angel pillar, and burn him alive with holy fire for 3 days and 3 nights. He was going crazy with anger. Because even in the primordial era, when they were fighting with the demons of the abyss, the angel race had never suffered such a great shame. These were 3 peerless sacred artifacts, a total of 3. One peerless sacred artifact was enough to suppress the luck of a race, let alone 3. Even for the peak races, losing 3 peerless sacred artifacts was unbearable. Moreover, these were the sacred artifacts of the angel race, and they were extremely important symbols to the angels. Especially that peerless sacred artifact, the Spear of Judgment, was the symbol of the angel race, the face of the angel race. Everyone knew that the Spear of Judgment was unparalleled. If other races found out that the Spear of Judgment had been taken, the angel race would immediately become the laughingstock of countless races in the universe. This was like China's imperial jade seal being taken by an outsider. This was an intolerable humiliation. Yes, we must kill him. We, the angel race, will not rest until one of us is dead. Many of the angels were furious. Sogu website. Chapter 2803. At this moment in another place. Xia Ping suddenly left the place where the angels were fighting and instantly entered the world of the classic of mountains and seas. He isolated his aura and avoided the search of the angels. Did they go back? At this time, Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and took out the Book of Karma. He immediately saw the karmic threads of himself and the 3 angels in the book. 3 illusory karmic threads seeped out from his body and merged into the depths of the void. It seemed to have entered the river of fate. Then, this karmic thread came out from the other end of the river of fate and finally extended into the void of the universe. However, the place where the 3 angels stayed was too far away. It was so far that he didn't know where it was. He couldn't even touch it with the range of his spiritual consciousness. Could it be the angel race's headquarters? If it's the headquarters, then it'll be interesting. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He felt that his guess was very likely. If these angels didn't return to the headquarters, then where could they go? If this was the case, then he believed that as long as he followed the karmic threads, he could find the 3 angels even if they escaped to the ends of the earth. Moreover, he could follow the vines to the melon and find their lair. Moreover, the Book of Karma also showed this. If he followed the karmic threads, he would definitely find the place where the angel race's headquarters was located. I can't be impulsive. I can't be impulsive for now. Xia Ping clenched his fists. He still suppressed his impulse to go to the angel race's headquarters. After all, he only had one chance. If he was discovered after breaking into the angel race's headquarters, then the angels would probably be vigilant next time. It wouldn't be so easy to sneak in again. Moreover, this was how he did things. If he didn't do it, then forget it. But once he did it, he must succeed. Moreover, he must not let the enemy have any ability to resist. Therefore, he planned to wait until his strength rose to another level before looking for trouble with the angels. This way, he could make the angels pay a huge price. Otherwise, even if he went to the angel race's headquarters now, it would be useless. It would only alert the enemy. However, if he found the location of the angel race's headquarters, then everything would be easy. Beep, right at this moment, the system's voice rang out. Congratulations, host. You've snatched 3 peerless sacred artifacts from the angel race and foiled their plans, causing the angel race to harbor immense hatred towards you. You've even caused the leader of the angel race to harbor hatred towards you. You've obtained a total of 5,000 hatred crystals this time. I hope that the host can continue to work hard. 5,000 hatred crystals. Hearing these words, Xia Ping was taken aback. It seemed that he had never received so many hatred crystals before. Even after causing such a big commotion in the abyss, he had not received 5,000 hatred crystals. But right now, he had merely snatched away the 3 peerless saint weapons of the angel clan, and yet he had received so much hatred. Just what was going on? The system seemed to have sensed Xia Ping's thoughts and explained. Because the angel race is an organization formed by religion, every angel believes in the Lord and is extremely fanatical. It can be said that their hatred for heathens is endless. Every angel is like this, so the hatred generated is especially high. Although Host has foiled the plans of the abyssal demons and incurred their hatred, it is only the hatred of some abyssal kings. Most of the abyssal demons don't know much about Host. Indeed. Xia Ping nodded. He had stolen the treasury of the abyssal demon lord. In fact, only those abyssal kings who knew about it were very angry, but for the vast majority of the abyssal demons, he was actually just a nobody. And in order to protect the dignity of the demon lord, those abyssal kings also concealed this matter and only spread it among the upper echelons, so the hatred received was relatively small. But the angel race was different. Their methods of dealing with heathens could be considered brutal. To put it bluntly, they were a very stingy race. Their hearts were narrower than the tip of a needle, and they were famous for seeking revenge for the smallest grievance in the entire universe. There was a famous saying in the universe that if you offended an angel, don't even think about running away. Therefore, by doing such a thing, Xia Ping had simply trampled on their dignity and slapped their faces fiercely. One could imagine the hatred that was caused by this. It was estimated that those angels wanted nothing more than to skin Xia Ping alive. It seems that offending the angel race is indeed a good deal. Xia Ping touched his chin, and his eyes immediately lit up. Offending those religious believers was completely different from offending other life forms. The amount of hatred he received was too much. After all, they were all organized, had the same idea, and each of them was quite powerful. Offending one was equivalent to offending a group of them, and the harvest was great. It was like a firecracker. For other experts, this was courting death. There was no benefit in offending the angel race. Instead, it would cause huge trouble. But he was different. Even if he offended this group of angels, they wouldn't be able to do anything to him. Instead, he would get a lot of hatred. No matter how he looked at it, it was a very cost-effective deal. If I do it a few more times, I might be able to harvest 100,000 hatred crystals soon. Xia Ping thought about it. Previously, the hatred crystals on him had reached 13,000. Now, with the addition of 5,000 hatred crystals, it was already 18,000 hatred crystals, which was an astronomical number. And this number was actually not too far from 100,000 hatred crystals. Just the hatred crystals that he had now were basically equivalent to 1/5 of the amount. Forget it, these are all trivial matters. I wonder how about these 3 Peerless Saint artifacts? At this time, Xia Ping took out 3 Peerless Saint artifacts from his body. The Spear of Judgment, the Yang Divine Bow, and the World-Splitting Blade of Light. These 3 Peerless Saint artifacts all emitted unusual energy fluctuations. Although he already had some Peerless Saint artifacts on him, and even some divine artifacts, who would think that he had so many magic treasures on him? Moreover, this was the Peerless Saint artifact of the angel race, which possessed extraordinary power. Interesting. Xia Ping held the Spear of Judgment, and he could immediately feel the extraordinary nature of this Peerless Saint artifact. It contained a huge law of karma, which seemed to be able to lock on to the enemy's chi. Even if the enemy was hiding in the corner of the universe, it could still track such a line of karma and kill them. This was a veritable Spear of Judgment. As long as the enemy was convicted of a crime, they would almost certainly die. Although the law of karma of this Peerless Saint artifact was not as powerful as the Book of Karma, it was not trivial among the Peerless Saint artifacts. At least, there were only a handful of Peerless Saint artifacts with the law of karma. Sogu. Chapter 2804. The Yang Divine Bow was not simple either. It seemed to contain the law of karma. Once it was shot, it would form an arrow of destiny, which was almost guaranteed to hit its target. At the same time, the Yang Divine Bow also contained the terrifying law of fire and law of destruction. The destructive power of the arrow was extraordinary. It could even easily pierce through a sun. If Xia Ping did not have the Book of Karma as a defensive divine artifact, he would definitely feel uneasy when facing the Yang Divine Bow. He would always be worried about being assassinated. Radiant World Cleaving Saber. Xia Ping held the saber and could feel that it contained powerful law of light and law of slicing. There were not many things in the world that could not be split apart. The sharpness of the saber chi was something he had never seen in his life. Of course, in terms of true sharpness, it was naturally not comparable to a divine artifact like the reincarnation brush. However, this peerless sacred artifact, radiant world-cleaving saber, was already quite impressive. Even a space-time barrier could be split in half by this saber. Not a bad treasure. Xia Ping was very satisfied. These 3 peerless sacred artifacts were quite good choices, be it for auction, exchanging for other precious treasures, or keeping them for his own use. As for whether using these 3 supreme quality saint artifacts would infuriate the angels into doing something desperate, that was not within his consideration. On the contrary, the more the angels hated him, the greater the benefits for him. He happened to be lacking a large number of hatred crystals. Master! At this moment, the green ox's voice was transmitted over. Then, its figure appeared in front of Xia Ping. What's the matter? Xia Ping's heart stirred. He knew that the green ox would not disturb him unless it was something important. It's like this. Today is Master's mother's birthday. There will be a family banquet tonight. Master's mother asked me if Master has time to attend. The green ox said solemnly, "Today is Mother's birthday? It seems that we haven't seen each other for a long time. It's time to go back and meet her." Hearing this, Xia Ping immediately thought of this matter. To be honest, after entering the universe, especially after entering the immortal realm, he did not have much concept of time. After all, he had an almost eternal lifespan, so he naturally would not pay attention to these things. Unless it was a very meaningful lifespan, such as a birthday of 10,000 years, a birthday of 1,000,000 years, a birthday of 100 million years, etc., he would not celebrate anything else. After all, a single seclusion could last for decades or centuries. Who would deliberately celebrate a birthday? As for the lifespan of his parents, Zhang Xian was not too worried about it either. He had plenty of resources on him, and he was confident that he could push his parents to sempiternal realm. When he had just entered the cosmos, he did not have this ability. But now that he had advanced to the primeval realm, this was a piece of cake. An hour later, Xia Ping returned to Cloud Continent from the void passage of the classic of mountains and seas. At this moment his father, Xia Chuanlu, and mother, Huang Lanxin, were living in the presidential mansion on Cloud Continent. After all, his father, Xia Chuanlu, was currently the president of the Human Alliance. In the next second, his figure flashed as if he had entered an uninhabited land. The so-called defense of the office of the president had no effect on him at all, as if it did not exist. Dad. At this moment, Xia Ping immediately saw his father Xia Chuanlu sitting alone in the living room of the Pavilion Lord Manor. "Huh, it's my son." Xia Chuanlu was taken aback, thinking that someone had invaded the office of the president. However, when he turned his head and saw Xia Ping, he could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. "I told you to have dinner tonight, and I thought you were busy. I thought you wouldn't come back. Also, can you not always appear and disappear like a ghost? Although your cultivation base is high, you can scare people to death if you scare them." "How could I scare you to death, Dad? You're now a great expert at perfection thunder tribulation." Xia Ping could immediately see that Xia Chuanlu's current martial Dao cultivation base had advanced to perfection thunder tribulation. Originally, Xia Chuanlu's martial Dao talent was ordinary, and he might not even be able to advance to the Purple Mansion realm. However, Xia Ping was rich and overbearing. Coupled with Green Bull's alchemy skills at the level of a grandmaster, a huge amount of resources, he refined countless precious pills, which Xia Chuanlu ate like candy. As a result, in a short time, Xia Chuanlu advanced to perfection thunder tribulation. He could be said to be the first person after Xia Ping. Now, he was truly a top human expert. Even Giant Corporation's leader Gu Yulai, Aurora Corporation's leader Sun Yangdao, and Life Corporation's leader Lu Wuming couldn't compare to Xia Chuanlu. After all, they didn't have the support of so many resources. If they relied on themselves, they might not be able to reach perfection thunder tribulation like Xia Chuanlu even after a few thousand years. At this moment, no one had any doubts about Gu Chuanlu becoming the president of the Federation. After all, his strength was enough to suppress everything. Of course, although Xia Chuanlu was a thunder tribulation realm martial artist, He relied on elixirs to advance. He was purely a fake and didn't have much combat experience. If he was to fight against someone of the same level, he would probably be beaten up badly. However, his strength was still an overwhelming advantage against martial artists who were one level lower. I didn't expect my son to be able to see that your father is a great expert. To be honest, your father is basically invincible among humans. Of course, my son is a monster and can't be compared. Xia Chuanlu had a proud expression. Yes. Of course, your father is incredible. Xia Ping nodded vigorously. By the way, son, do you have any elixirs for your father to take? Xia Chuanlu leaned closer and said mysteriously, to be honest, you know my cultivation level. I relied on elixirs to advance. I don't have any martial arts foundation. I'm completely a fake. Now that the Thunder Tribulation is approaching, if I still can't think of a way, I'm afraid the Thunder Tribulation will strike your father to death. Alas, if I had known this earlier, I wouldn't have advanced so quickly. Who knew that there would be a Thunder Tribulation? Do you think this damn god can't bear to see others doing well? Why does he strike people so easily? He was indignant, and at the same time, he regretted being too cocky, causing his cultivation level to advance too quickly. As a result, he didn't have any confidence to pass the Thunder Tribulation. He was afraid that when the Thunder Tribulation appeared, he would turn into ashes. He would probably be the first human from Yanhuang planet to be killed by the Thunder Tribulation. This, to be honest, there is still a way. The corner of Xia Ping's mouth twitched, and he looked at his thick-skinned father speechlessly. Others were all dependent on their fathers, but his father was actually dependent on his son. He even asked if there was a way to safely pass the Thunder Tribulation and advance to the Sage Realm. Why didn't this guy go to heaven? He didn't even have such a good thing in the past. Fortunately, he had a lot of immortal fruits on him. Otherwise, his father would have really been killed by the Thunder Tribulation and turned into ashes. Third Sect Leader. Chapter 2805. Are you serious? Even immortal sages can reach that level with pills? Hearing this, Xia Chuanlu was shocked. At first, he was just joking, but he didn't expect there to really be a way. He stared at Xia Ping with his eyes wide open. Of course, after eating this fruit, you'll become an immortal sage very soon. You don't have to worry about the Thunder Trial either. Xia Ping searched the classic of mountains and seas for a while and quickly fished out an immortal fruit. He hadn't eaten an immortal fruit for a long time because such a fruit didn't have much effect on him anymore. However, it was still very useful for Thunder Trial warriors. After all, an immortal fruit contained the lifetime cultivation essence of an immortal sage. One could imagine how much energy it contained. If such a fruit was taken out to the outside world, it would definitely cause a huge commotion. Immortal fruit? Seeing the immortal fruit in Xia Ping's hand, Xia Chuanliu's eyes widened and he held his breath. With his current cultivation, he could already feel the strangeness of this fruit. It contained a huge amount of immortal qi. Every cell in his body longed to swallow this fruit. This was definitely a rare natural fruit in the universe. At least, he had never heard of any fruit that could help the Thunder Tribulation to ascend to the immortal level. It was simply unheard of and unseen. Unbelievable. Son, this immortal fruit must be very precious. Xia Chuanlu sighed. It is indeed very precious. Apart from me, no other sages can have it. There is only one in the entire universe. By the way, Mom should be advancing soon, right? You should give her one too. Xia Ping took out 2 immortal fruits and placed them on the table. This. Seeing Xia Ping treat the immortal fruit so casually as if it was an ordinary fruit, Xia Chuanliu's mouth twitched. He couldn't feel how precious this fruit was from his son. Of course, the ability to help Thunder Trial warriors reach immortal was still rare and undeniably powerful. If those Thunder Trial warriors in the universe knew about this, they would probably buy one even if they had to spend all their money. Son, don't tell me you still have many of these immortal fruits? Xia Chuanlu asked. Not many, just a few hundred. Eat them sparingly. Xia Ping thought about it and answered. A few hundred. Hearing this, Xia Chuanliu's heart skipped a beat. This was a terrifying number. If these fruits were given to some Thunder Retribution Realm warriors, wouldn't they be able to create hundreds of immortal saints? Motherfucker, this was simply producing undying saints like dumplings. Saints were worthless now. By the way, Dad, where did Mom go? Why can't I see her anywhere? Xiaoping asked. He looked around but couldn't see where his mother was. Oh, she went shopping with your girlfriends. They should be back soon. Xia Chuanlu replied casually. He was still in a state of shock. Girlfriend? Hearing this, Xia Ping was a little confused. He didn't know what his dad was talking about. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At this time, there was a burst of bell-like laughter outside, and then a group of women came in. Among them was his mother, Huang Lanxin. In addition, there were Nangong Wu, Qiuxiu, Su Ji, Su Mei, Jiang Yaru, Chu Rong, Yu Qiqi, and even Lingyun Sect's saintess Yi Mengyao. They came back from outside with big and small bags. Obviously, they had just gone shopping. Moreover, they were talking and laughing with each other as if they had known each other for a long time. Son, you're back. When Huang Lanxin saw Xia Ping, she immediately cried out in surprise. Xia Ping said honestly, Great, I knew you would come back today. You must cook a good meal tonight. Huang Lanxin said excitedly. Let's not talk anymore. I'll go into the kitchen to cook first. Old Xia, come in and help. She pulled Xia Chuanlu into the kitchen next door. Obviously, she deliberately found an excuse to leave. Only Xia Ping, Nangong Wu, and the others were left in the hall. To be honest, the hall was so quiet that even a drop of water could be heard. Xia Ping felt an unprecedented tension. Even when facing the three invincible saints, he was not so nervous. It was as if he was facing a great enemy. Ahem, I didn't expect you to come to my house for dinner. What a coincidence. Xia Ping was the first to open his mouth and break the deadlock. It's not a coincidence. It's a prepared trip. Su Mei smiled slightly. Who told some men to not be at home and go out to flirt? I really have no choice but to come and ask for an explanation. I'm afraid that Lord Xia is forgetful and has forgotten about us. Su Ji said faintly. You've misunderstood. I didn't do anything to flirt when I went out. All I did was contribute to the human race. I went through fire and water everywhere. I barely survived. It's not so comfortable. Xia Ping protested. Barely survived? Why did I hear that you took the initiative to cause trouble everywhere? One race's treasure house was stolen, and another race's treasure house was stolen. Now there are many saints in the universe who want to kill you. Qiuxiu looked at Xia Ping speechlessly. These are all misunderstandings. Xia Ping said righteously, It's purely a lie made up by those saints to slander me. If you want to blame me, you can always find a way to frame me. I just went to those places to bring back some gifts. It's not as serious as the theft. Nangong Wu looked at Xia Ping in disdain. What do you mean by bringing back some gifts? His entire treasure house was emptied. Is this just bringing back some gifts? This guy's understanding of gifts is different from others. Moreover, this is his treasure house. Can the treasures inside be brought back just because he wants to? I didn't expect the famous Wu Wudi to be so obedient at home. If Auntie Huang knew about all the bad things you did outside, what would she think? Yi Mengyao gave him a sidelong glance. Of course I'm obedient. This guy is a famous liar in the universe. No one knows how many faces he has and how many women he has around him. Yu Qiqi looked at Xia Ping in disdain. Ahem, you've all misunderstood. Actually, this is my true face. The real me is actually a simple and kind child. I did those things because I had no other choice. I was forced by the situation. Xia Ping coughed. As for those women around me, they're all wild bees and butterflies. They probably threw themselves at me because they coveted my beauty. I'm a victim. Pooey shameless. Yi Mengyao and the rest spat. They knew that this guy was thick-skinned, but they didn't expect it to be to this extent. It was even stronger than the defense of a saint artifact. Other women coveted his beauty. Why didn't this guy ascend to the heavens? He was too shameless. Chapter 2806. By the way, there's something I have to tell you first. It's very serious. I'm afraid it will affect the future of the entire human race. You have to listen carefully. At this moment, Xia Ping's expression turned serious. In order to change the topic, he decided to tell them about what happened in the Abyss world and the demons' plan to attack the world. Half an hour later, he told them everything in full detail. What? The demons will soon attack the Abyss universe? As expected, after hearing Xia Ping's news, Nangong Wu and the others immediately forgot about pursuing Xia Ping's matter. After all, this was a matter of life and death for all races. They had to put aside their feelings for each other. Once the war broke out, who knew how many lives would be lost? Although no one knew how long the war between the primordial era and the Abyss world had passed, from the historical records, 9 out of 10 houses were empty and starving people were everywhere. Especially Yi Mengyao. She was not only the saintess of the Soaring Cloud sect, but also the saintess of the elf race. She had a large family behind her and countless lives were at stake. That's right, there's no doubt about this. Currently, only the invincible saints know about this. It hasn't been announced yet to prevent ordinary people from panicking. Xia Ping said in a low voice. If that's the case, what should we do? Jiang Yaru frowned. Of course, she knew how cruel the war would be at the beginning. Not to mention that even saints might fall, ordinary people might even become cannon fodder. Moreover, it was impossible to avoid it. This was a war that affected the entire universe. No life could stay out of it. They would all be swept into the waves. At the same time, although their cultivation had improved rapidly and they had occasional fortuitous encounters, their strength had only reached the complete stage of the lightning trial. They were still a long way from becoming immortal. Among them, the strongest was Yi Mengyao. With Xia Ping's help, her strength had improved by leaps and bounds. She had already become a near-ancient saint and comprehended the law of space. However, this kind of strength was still not considered elite. Of course, Jiang Yaru and the others were even weaker. They couldn't protect themselves in the war at all. This is child's play. I'll increase your strength first and let you all become immortal saints. Xia Ping had already thought of a way. He would first let the people around him become immortal saints. In this way, even if war broke out, they would at least have a strong ability to protect themselves. After all, if a battle were to occur at a critical moment, even Xia Ping would not have the energy to pay attention to the people around him. Therefore, it was better to increase their strength so that they could protect themselves. A few minutes later, Xia Ping took out the immortal fruit, space fruit, time fruit, creation fruit, and even the world fruit, and placed them in front of Nangong Wu and the others. He explained the uses of these fruits to Nangong Wu and the others. It can't be, right? Eating an immortal fruit will allow one to become an immortal sage? The success rate is 100%? Yu Qiqi's eyes widened in disbelief. After all, it was extremely difficult for ordinary people to reach the immortal realm. Even if they used up all their resources, there was no way to touch the bottleneck of the immortal realm. In the end, they could only die of old age. But now, he could succeed just by eating a fruit. How unbelievable was that? Surface-wise, it seemed very simple. In fact, however, obtaining the everlasting fruit was incomparably difficult. It was countless times more difficult compared to obtaining a sacred artifact. After all, these fruits could only be produced by the World Tree. It was a special ability of the World Tree. Other than that, there was no other way to produce these fruits. How many people in the entire universe could have the World Tree? Therefore, this was an ability unique to Xia Ping. Other sages and other races could not possibly have it. Eating a space fruit will allow one to comprehend the law of space. Eating a time fruit will allow one to comprehend the law of time. Eating a creation fruit will allow one to comprehend the law of creation. This is unbelievable. Yi Mengyao was also shocked. Even though she had seen similar fruits before, she was still shocked when she saw the time fruit that Xia Ping took out. One must know that if ordinary sages wanted to comprehend the law of space and the law of time, they had to fuse their souls with the origin of the universe. Only after a long period of accumulation would they be able to fully comprehend the fragments of the various laws. But now, eating a fruit would allow one to completely comprehend them. How unbelievable was that? However, the reason why these fruits had such an ability was because the fragments of the laws and energy within the fruits were obtained from the sages of the ancient era and the middle era. Each time fruit contained many fragments of time comprehended by the middle era sages. Eating it was equivalent to possessing the lifetime cultivation and information of the laws of the other party. This was equivalent to a saint imparting his wisdom to him, imparting his lifetime's worth of skills to him. Generally speaking, this was almost impossible. After all, when ordinary sages died, their blood essence, energy, and information of the laws would dissipate and return to the origin of the universe. Others could not use it at all. However, the world tree had a way to forcefully intercept it, devour it, fuse it, and condense it into a special fruit. This was the unique and unbelievable ability of the world tree. After devouring it, you will need a period of time to consolidate your cultivation and martial Dao foundation before you can devour the next stage of the fruit. If you jump levels, I'm afraid there will be unpredictable consequences. You must be careful not to advance too quickly. This will be disadvantageous to your cultivation. Xia Ping reminded. For example, after advancing to the immortal sage, one could not jump levels to consume the time fruit and comprehend the law of time. After all, if one did not even comprehend the law of space, how could one comprehend the law of time? Most importantly, the time fruit contained the lifetime cultivation and flesh essence of the Middle Era sages. This kind of energy was not something a mere immortal sage could handle. If one were to forcefully consume it, one's body would explode. This was the so-called going too far is as bad as falling short. Pulling a seedling to help it grow was not a good thing. And got it. Nangong Wu and the others nodded their heads. They had been cultivating for a very long time, so they naturally knew about the taboo of cultivation. Even with the assistance of such a heavenly fruit, they still needed to cultivate bitterly on their own. Only then would they be able to take control of the energy and integrate it without any side effects. In the blink of an eye, a month passed. Nangong Wu, Qiushu, Su Ji, Su Mei, Jiang Yar, Chu Rong, Yuchichi and the rest all broke through and reached the immortal sage realm. At the same time, Xia Ping's parents also reached the immortal sage realm and obtained the immortal body. Yi Mengyao also broke through from the near ancient era sage realm to the middle era sage realm. Her strength had increased by leaps and bounds. If this news were to spread, it would definitely shock the entire universe. Sogu website. Chapter 2807. As expected of the mutant fruits born from the world tree. After learning about Nangong Wu and the others, as well as his parents' cultivation, Xia Ping was very satisfied. The immortal fruit, spatial fruit, time fruit, and other mutant fruits indeed had extraordinary effects. However, this ability did not break the balance of the universe. In fact, it was still difficult for sages to be born. The reason this happened was because the power of the dead sages was transferred to others with the help of the world tree's plunder ability. In fact, the number of sages in the universe did not increase. It was equivalent to exchanging one for another. The number of sages in the universe might even decrease because of this. This was the unique ability of the world tree to plunder heavenly secrets. After becoming an immortal sage, I should have the ability to protect myself. Xia Ping immediately heaved a sigh of relief. As he became stronger, so did his enemies. If the people around him did not have the ability to protect themselves, unpredictable dangers might happen. However, now that they had all become immortal sages, and with the help of these mutant fruits, their cultivation would definitely improve by leaps and bounds, far surpassing the imagination of other sages. Right? Where did Xiao Jin go? Suddenly, Xia Ping thought of the golden slime. He had brought back a large number of divine artifact fragments from the abyss world to let the golden slime evolve greatly. If the golden slime improved further, it would probably be of more help to him. It might even be able to advance to the divine artifact level or even stronger. Master! As if sensing Xia Ping's thoughts, the green ox's voice sounded. Xiao Jin, Tanming Lu, and Chong Xiaoqian are currently in the Classic of Mountains and Seas world. Oh, why are they back in the Classic of Mountains and Seas world? Didn't they plan to go somewhere else to play? Xia Ping asked doubtfully. Well, it seems like they ran for a distance. After walking a street, they felt very tired and didn't want to go anywhere else to play, so they returned to the classic of mountains and seas world to play games. The green ox explained. They said that there's nothing much to go shopping. They wander around the King's Canyon every day, going to all kinds of shopping malls and buying all kinds of game equipment. They're tired of it. Traveling is also very boring. They often go to all kinds of game worlds and can see the world without going out. They can also go through the history of various dynasties. There's no need to run around at all. As for delicacies, there's everything in the classic of mountains and seas world. There are all kinds of delicacies and exotic plants that can't be found in the outside world. This Xia Ping was speechless. These little guys were really otaku girls. They ran out of strength after a few steps. This time, if it wasn't for going out to fight netizens, they might not go out for the rest of their lives. Boom! At the thought of this, he swept out with his divine senses and instantly enveloped the entire world of the classic of mountains and seas. He immediately sensed that Tan Menglu, Chong Xiaoqian, Xiao Jin, and the others were gathered together. There were also the 5 Lolas from the Gaia race from before. Even the gates of hell were in the same place. It seemed like they had been abducted. At this moment, Tan Minglu, Chong Xiaoqian, Xiao Jin, and the 5 Lolas from the Gaia race were gathered together. Xiao Men had accidentally barged into this canyon. Hey, you look unfamiliar. Little girl, are you new here? Tan Minglu immediately noticed the small door and found it unfamiliar. What? A newcomer? Why aren't you coming to pay your respects to me? Don't you know that I'm the king of this place? Are you not giving me face by not paying me a visit? Chong Xiaoqian jumped out with her hands on her hips and looked at the small door with a ferocious expression. I'm lost. Sorry, I'll leave now. Seeing these 2 people who were like bullies, the small door was almost scared to tears. Why was this place so dangerous? It seemed like she had barged into an incredible place. To be honest, she was stunned when she first arrived at this canyon. These people looked like they hadn't slept for a month. They all had dark circles under their eyes. The negative aura on their bodies was even more terrifying than that of evil spirits. The smell of corruption was even more terrifying than that of demons. She instinctively didn't want to have anything to do with these terrifying creatures. She immediately wanted to break into a run. But she only ran 3 steps before she started to pant. There was no helping it. Her body was too weak, and her athletic ability was severely lacking. Hee, you want to run away after coming here? You don't give me any face at all. What do you think this place is? You can come and go as you please. Chong Xiaoqian was extremely relaxed. She lifted the small door with one hand as if she was lifting a little chick. Tell me, who are you? What's your name? Tan Minglu interrogated. I'm the gates of hell. My name is Xiao Men. Oh, don't eat me. I don't taste good. The small door was so scared that she started crying. Gates of hell? What a domineering nickname. The 5 little Lolas from the Gaia race were instantly interested. They looked at the small door curiously. No wonder the word door is carved on your forehead. I thought you were some evil person. Chong Xiaoqian was enlightened. You are the evil person. The small door cursed in her heart. Anyone with eyes could tell who was a good person and who was a bad person. Forget it. I don't care what door you are. Are you here to play games? Tan Minglu patted the small door's shoulder and revealed a devilish smile. Seeing such a smile, Chong Xiaoqian couldn't help but shiver. Back then, she had been tricked like this and couldn't escape even now. Games? Why do I want to play games? Are games bad people? The small door blinked her eyes to express her confusion. She had no concept of games at all because all her memories had disappeared. The group was speechless. They didn't know how to explain this point. Right? Games need bad people. Bad people who don't listen to us. So we have to beat them up frequently. Beat them up once a day, 24 hours a day. Tan Minglu said. Beat them up when they don't listen? The small door was so frightened that her body trembled. Right? Beat them up when they don't listen. Right? Are you obedient or disobedient? Tan Minglu casually asked. Yes, Of course I am obedient. Who can be more obedient than me? The small door immediately shivered and expressed that she wasn't a bad person. It's good that you are obedient. Since that's the case, let's play games together. Only then can we prove that you are a good person. Those who beat up bad people are good people. We are comrades. Understand? Tan Minglu patted the small door's shoulder in satisfaction. I understand. I will work hard to play games and strive to be a good person. The small door nodded her head repeatedly. It's over, it's over. This fellow is completely finished. Another one has been corrupted. Chong Xiaoqian pitted the small door. Back then she was young and ignorant. She was led into a trap by the demon Tan Minglu. From then on, she walked on this path of no return. Even now, she couldn't turn back. When she saw the small door, it was like she saw a lost lamb being led into a trap. From then on, she couldn't escape. Chapter 2808. These guys. Seeing this scene, Xia Ping was instantly speechless. These internet addicts were really hopeless. They wanted to pull anyone they saw into their group as if they were preaching. However, it was not a big deal to let Little Gate play games. At least she could get to know this world as long as she did not overdo it. But right, there were also the 5 Gaia Lolas. Originally, he had planned to use the power of the 5 Gaia Lolas to find the legendary Gaia Paradise based on the karma lines on them. However, these Lolas seemed to be planning on staying in the classic of mountains and seas world. They were completely holed up in this place, and it was unknown when they would return to Gaia Paradise. And he could not use force on them, so he could only wait. However, according to the personalities of these Gaia otakus, he would probably have to wait until the end of time. Forget it, let's increase Little Gold's strength first. Thinking of this, Xia Ping ignored Tan Minglu and the other internet addicts. He sent a voice transmission to the golden slime. Little Gold, come over. I have something to discuss with you. Yes, it's Master's voice. Master is looking for me. Little Gold immediately sensed Xia Ping's voice transmission, and she immediately put down the game. Little Gold, where are you going? Aren't you going to game? Tan Minglu and Chong Xiaoqian looked at Little Gold curiously. I'm not playing anymore. Master is looking for me. Little Gold's figure flashed and soon disappeared from this place. Oh no, Little Gold ran away. What about our team battle? Without Little Gold, we can't beat those cheats, Chong Xiaoqian shouted. Hee hee, what a joke. So what if they cheats? I don't believe we can't deal with those cheats with just our skills. We don't need the power of paywalls, the Gaia Lolas shouted. But the power of paywalls is very terrifying. Little Gold reported them once, and all their accounts were banned. We reported them dozens of times, but they ignored us. The red-haired Lolas said weakly. Shut up. Don't be corrupted by the power of money. Game elites like us cannot be captives of game money. The golden Lolas clenched her fists. That's right. We can't top up a single cent. We can't let the game company earn a single cent. We'll play for nothing until they go bankrupt. Otherwise, we'll lose, the black-haired Lolas shouted. But we don't have money. We can't even top up. The green-haired Loli blinked. Shut up. If you don't know how to speak, then don't speak. Isn't it better to be a mute? The group of Lolas was angered half to death. They glared angrily at the green-haired Lolita. This fellow really touched a sore spot. Why was her words so infuriating? Forget it, let's not fight a group battle today. Let's let that group of trash go. Today, we need to nurture a new battle power. Tan Minglu patted Little Gate's shoulder and shouted. Little Gate was dumbfounded. He did not know what these bullies who were scarier than demons were talking about. Whoosh. Not long after, Xiao Jin arrived in front of Xia Ping. This was the central palace of the 33 levels of the classic of mountains and seas world. It was also where Xia Ping cultivated in seclusion. At the same time, this place was also Xia Ping's treasury. It contained the treasures he had plundered from various places, including the divine artifact fragments he had seized from the Abyss treasury. Master! Xiao Jin blinked and looked at Xia Ping. Good. You probably haven't evolved in a long time. Now, there's some good stuff for you to eat. I guarantee that you'll be very satisfied. Xia Ping pulled Xiao Jin to the deepest part of the treasury. Immediately, the treasury shone with endless golden light. Every divine artifact fragment was filled with powerful sharpness. They even contained traces of divinity. This is a divine artifact fragment? Xiao Jin's eyes widened. She immediately recognized what it was. Her breathing quickened. Even though she had seen countless treasures, divine artifact fragments were still one of the most precious treasures. This was because divine artifact fragments were not things that could be bought with money. They were fragments formed from broken divine artifacts. Only invincible saints had the right to obtain them. Other saints were extremely lucky to have one. It was impossible for them to have many. But now, there were so many god artifact fragments in this place. This was simply unimaginable. It was really an eye-opener for her. She looked at her master, Xia Ping, in admiration. With so many divine artifact fragments, he was probably as rich as a country. No, not only could he be as rich as a country, even the treasury of a peak race might not have so many divine artifact fragments. Are they all mine? Xiao Jin looked at Xia Ping. Yes, they're all yours. Eat as much as you can. You have to become the strongest as soon as possible. Xia Ping nodded. Okay. With Xia Ping's permission, Xiao Jin went forward and took out pieces of divine artifact fragments from the ground. She placed them in her mouth and swallowed them in one gulp. Crunch, crunch. It was as if she was eating chocolate. Pieces of divine artifact fragments entered her stomach. Then, she stopped after eating a total of 108 divine artifact fragments. Master, I'm full. Xiao Jin touched her stomach and felt an unprecedented sense of fullness. Powerful divine power was brewing in the depths of her body, flowing into every corner and cell of her body. Even the power of the laws of the divine artifact fragments were all absorbed by the golden slime's body. It seemed to be completely integrated into her body. You're full? Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect Xiao Jin to be full after eating only 108 divine artifact fragments. Previously, Xiao Jin's appetite was endless. But thinking about it carefully, this was very normal. After all, these were divine artifact fragments, the true essence of gods. The divine power and the power of laws contained in the materials were not comparable to other materials. Just one divine artifact fragment was priceless. It was unknown how many tons of other materials it was equivalent to. The energy of just one fragment was estimated to be equivalent to the energy of a great thousand world. And Xiao Jin had eaten a total of 108 divine artifact fragments, which was equivalent to the energy of 108 great thousand worlds. This majestic energy was enough to fill any sage to death. Only a special creature in the universe like Xiao Jin could devour and digest so much majestic energy. This was already a miracle. Since ancient times, no golden slime had the opportunity to devour so many divine artifact fragments. If other sages were to find out about this, they would definitely scold Xia Ping for being a prodigal. This was too extravagant. So many divine artifact fragments were eaten by the golden slime alone. If these divine artifact fragments were used for refining and integrated into a divine artifact, it would definitely allow a peerless divine artifact to possess the power of a divine artifact, erupting with world-shaking combat power. Chapter 2809. Rumble. In the blink of an eye, after Little Gold swallowed these divine artifact fragments, it seemed that the golden slime's special ability took effect and quickly digested these divine artifact fragments. The energy of these divine artifact fragments fused into Little Gold's body at a speed visible to the naked eye. Her power was also rising steadily, as if every cell in her body had integrated with a trace of divinity, or even a large amount of divine power. She vaguely emitted the aura of a divine artifact, producing a strange Tao rhythm. Whoosh, with Little Gold's body as the center, a huge energy vortex was produced, forming a golden sphere with a diameter of hundreds of kilometers, all condensed from powerful divine power. Even looking from afar, one could feel the terrifying divine power fluctuation, as if it was distorting this space. At this moment, Little Gold's body was surrounded by this golden energy, and every cell in her body was greedily devouring this golden energy, causing the power of the golden slime's main body to continuously increase. It seemed that at this moment, her body was emitting waves of immortal aura. This is incredible. She can even devour and digest the divine artifact fragments. At this moment, the black ox flew over. After seeing Xiao Jin devour the 108 god artifact fragments, it immediately sighed emotionally. Its eyes lit up, and it was extremely excited and amazed. It originally thought that the divine artifact fragments contained immortal characteristics, and even the golden slime would find it difficult to digest. In fact, if it were an ordinary golden slime, it might really not be able to devour the divine artifact fragments. It would treat them as indigestible things, and there would be no changes even if it was eaten, and it would spit them out. But Little Gold was different. After Xia Ping's extremely extravagant training, and even integrated with a trace of Xia Ping's golden crow of hell bloodline, her talent had reached the highest level, and she could be said to be the strongest among the slime race since ancient times. In particular, her body's digestive ability had integrated with the destructive characteristics of the golden crow of hell's flames, making her digestive ability thousands of times stronger than other golden slime. Even her stomach would be burned by the golden crow of hell's flames. It was also because of this that Little Gold could devour and refine these divine artifact fragments so easily. Or, if it were other golden slime, even if they obtained so many divine artifact fragments, it would probably be difficult for them to devour and refine them. They could only treat them as useless things, and they would never be able to enhance their own power. Indeed, after devouring these divine artifact fragments, there was no rejection reaction at all. She devoured and digested them all, and completely assimilated all the power. This is an incredible ability. Corinne also flew over, incomparably emotional. What it was most amazed at was the golden slime's ability to assimilate and fuse. After all, there were so many divine artifact fragments, and every divine artifact fragment had different abilities. If he were to forcefully fuse them together, it would cause the different powers within his body to clash, which was a great taboo. For example, a water-type sacred artifact could only devour water-type ores, not fire-type ores. Otherwise, it would cause a conflict between the two attributes. However, due to the special ability of the golden slimes, they were able to assimilate almost all objects in the world. Even if they devoured different god equipment fragments, they would be able to assimilate them perfectly and gain complete control over them. There would not be any conflict of attributes. This was also an ability that countless sacred artifacts would feel envious of. Possessing this ability meant that it possessed limitless growth potential. No matter what kind of treasure it devoured, it would be able to strengthen itself. Oh, that's right. If the divine tool fragment fuses with your body, can it enhance your strength? Xia Ping's heart moved as he looked at Azure Ox and Corinne. If they could increase their strength at the same time, it would naturally be a great thing. Of course, it can increase our power. However, doing so will ruin our chances of leveling up to the divine tier. Azure Ox said in a deep voice. That's right. Although a peerless sacred artifact can fuse with a divine tool fragment, and can even take advantage of this opportunity to possess a part of the might of a divine tool and display a power far beyond that of an ordinary peerless sacred artifact. Corinne also shook his head and said, but in this way, the level of this divine tool is basically fixed. The growth potential of this peerless sacred artifact will no longer be able to make the peerless sacred artifact undergo a thorough transformation. So that's how it is. Xia Ping nodded his head. He understood what Azure Ox and Corinne were saying. Although a divine tool fragment could enhance the power of a sacred artifact, if a sacred artifact wants to transform into a divine tool, every part of its body must be perfect and flawless. At the same time, it must undergo a transformation, and every part must possess immortal characteristics. However, if a sacred artifact fuses with a divine tool, this imperfection would be destroyed, and it would be completely fixed within the scope of this divine tool fragment, and there would be no way to break through. This was like obtaining the inheritance of a demon god, but it would no longer be able to break through the limits of this demon god. It would forever only be able to reach the highest level that this demon god could possess. And this was also a huge flaw. Of course, many sacred artifacts don't have any chance to be promoted to the level of a divine tool. Therefore, fusing with a divine tool fragment and possessing a part of the power of a divine tool is also an excellent choice. Azurox said. Xia Ping nodded his head. This was indeed the case. Not every sacred artifact had the opportunity to be promoted to a sacred artifact. In fact, the vast majority of sacred artifacts didn't have such an opportunity. In that case, it was better to fuse with a divine tool fragment to enhance the power of the main body. In fact, many sacred artifacts in the universe also did this. After fusing with a divine tool fragment, they could display extraordinary power, which was called a half-step divine tool. This was a magic weapon above a peerless sacred artifact, but it was inferior to a true divine tool. However, Azurox and Corinne were naturally unwilling to sacrifice their future just to enhance a part of the power. This was a short-sighted behavior, and the gains did not make up for the losses. Moreover, this kind of divine tool fragment fusion also had a huge flaw, and that is, it couldn't be used too many times. After all, the power of a divine tool fragment was really too great. Whether it was the power or the material itself, it was not something that an ordinary sacred artifact could compare with. If used too many times, the power of the divine tool fragment would shatter the material of the sacred artifact itself. Simply put, the sacred artifact wouldn't be able to withstand the power of the divine tool fragment. Perhaps it didn't matter once or twice, but thousands of times, or even hundreds of thousands of times. After accumulating for a long time, the sacred artifact itself would suffer countless injuries, producing numerous cracks. When it reached its limit, the sacred artifact would completely collapse and crack like glass. It seems that the divine tool fragments still can't be casually fused. Forcibly fusing magic weapons that are not of the same level together is probably a big taboo in refining magic weapons. But how long will it take for Xiao Jin's evolution to end? Xia Ping said. At this rate, it will take at least 7 days. Azurox and Corinne carefully calculated the time. Chapter 28:10. 7 days later. Rumble, just at this moment, the huge golden sphere that had wrapped around Xiao Jin in the center of the square began to tremble violently and buzz. The vibration seemed to cause the frequency of the void to change. It was as if the entire world of the 33 heavens was shaking. In an instant, the huge golden sphere shone brightly and pierced through the golden sphere. The sphere was riddled with holes and shattered like a glass ball. With a few cracking sounds, these condensed energy fragments fell to the ground, creating a deep pit. Then, Little Gold's figure suddenly appeared in this square. Is the transformation complete? Xia Ping, who had been cultivating, immediately came out. With a flash, he arrived near the central square and happened to see Little Gold walking out of the golden sphere. At that moment, Little Gold emitted an extremely powerful power that shook the 33 heavens. Even the world of the classic of mountains and seas could not withstand this terrifying aura. Whoosh, she stood where she was, and the golden energy fragments on the ground immediately turned into golden liquid. As if they were alive, they quickly fused with Little Gold's body. Not a single drop was wasted. Her power was also increasing at a geometrical rate. Vaguely, her body was emitting traces of immortal characteristics, as if she had a huge amount of divine power. At the same time, dense nomological veins appeared in her body. They seemed to be engraved with hundreds of perfect nomological laws, and there were even many special Great Tao nomological laws. It was because Little Gold had such a nomological origin in her body that she could easily communicate with the universe's origin and unleash incredible power. She has already advanced to the level of a peerless sacred artifact. Xia Ping was immediately amazed. He could sense the immense power that Little Gold contained. It seemed that even he might not be able to match up to Little Gold's current power. Little Gold could probably easily contend with primordial saints. It could even wrestle with invincible saints. This speed of evolution was simply too fast. It was practically leapfrogging. However, this was how golden slimes evolved. They were not like humans, who needed to comprehend some nomological laws. They only needed to devour various special ores and materials to quickly advance. However, this also had a huge drawback, and that was that it was extremely reliant on resources. Without enough resources, it would be impossible to advance in this lifetime. It could be said that raising a golden slime was very costly, and not something an ordinary family could afford. No, it is not just a peerless sacred artifact, it is already a half-step divine artifact. It is only a step away from advancing to the divine artifact rank. Corinne and Azure Ox also moved upon hearing the news. At this moment, they were extremely excited as they looked at Goldie, who had just broken out of its shell. This was because in their eyes, Xiao Jin's existence was simply a miracle. It was the path for Xiao Jin to advance from a supreme saint artifact to a god artifact. If Little Gold could level up, then they might be able to find their own way to level up to a divine artifact. Master! At this time, Little Gold opened her eyes. She had a pair of golden eyes, and the depths of her pupils seemed to be engraved with dense nomological patterns, as though they contained endless nomological mysteries. In the next second, she transformed into a 3-feet-long golden sword with dense nomological patterns on it. It instantly flew above Xia Ping's right hand. Huh! In an instant, Xia Ping immediately sensed a huge amount of magical power information being instilled into him by this golden sword. They were all the magical powers that the golden slime had obtained after advancing. Previously, the golden slime had 11 kinds of magical powers, which were myriad changes, swallow everything, earth body, invincible, earthquake, instant recovery, devour soul, mighty thunderbolt, heavenly crystal body, absolute space, and the last sea god authority. The power of these 11 magical powers had increased by several levels and had undergone a huge transformation. However, in addition to this, she had 2 more magical powers, increasing the number of magical powers to 13. Magical power number 12, Space-Time Sword Formation. As long as the power of the golden slime is stimulated, it can split into billions of golden flying swords, and countless golden flying swords will form a huge sword formation. Once the sword formation is unleashed, it will form a sword Dao domain that can instantly confine spacetime. The enemy in the domain will immediately suffer a devastating blow and penetrate everything. Magical power number 13, God-Slaying Power. This is a special kind of power that was born from 108 pieces of divine artifact fragments. It devoured the special energy of the divine artifact of destruction. Using this power, it can even slay gods. What? Xia Ping's eyes lit up. He could feel the power of the golden slime at the moment. It was a huge improvement that far exceeded his imagination. Especially the 2 new divine abilities, each of which was incomparably powerful. Among them, the god-slaying power made him feel a terrifying power brewing. Because according to the golden slime's senses, this power was actually attached to the divine artifact fragments, and not something that the divine artifact fragments themselves could possess. And the reason why the divine artifact had shattered was because of this destructive power. Even after countless eras, this destructive power was still attached to the divine artifact fragments. Of course, this destructive power was very weak, and it was almost undetectable. Only a special creature like the golden slime could assimilate all kinds of energy, and even assimilate this destructive power, making it its own. In the end, it gave birth to the god-slaying power. You must be joking. Can this power really slay gods? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He could indeed sense that the golden longsword contained a terrifying, destructive energy. However, the energy was too weak, and it was only a trace. This power could probably only support him for 1 strike. After that strike, it would probably take a long time for this strand of god-slaying power to recover. Even so, this was still a trump card that could play an incredible role at critical moments. However, he could not verify if this power could really slay gods. After all, there were no gods that he had killed yet. This was like creating a dragon saber, only to find out that the true dragons in the world had long gone extinct, and there was no way to kill them even if he wanted to. Although I can't kill gods, I wonder if it can kill invincible saints. Xia Ping's heart skipped a beat. If the golden slime had devoured the divine artifact fragments and obtained this power, it might have been able to slash the 3 demigod angels. If this power could kill gods, then killing demigods would probably not be a problem. Interesting. What is this power that can destroy divine artifacts and kill gods? Xia Ping was very curious, but he knew that the golden slime had assimilated an incredible power. Sogu website. Chapter 2811. Another few days passed. Xia Ping finally understood Xiao Jin's current power. It had indeed reached the level of a half-step divine artifact. It was only 1 step away from being comparable to a true divine artifact. Xiao Jin would probably be able to transform into a divine artifact with an opportunity, increasing its power countless times over. Even though it hadn't transformed yet, with the terrifying power of a half-step divine artifact and the use of god-slaying power, it still made its power extremely terrifying. It could be said that the devouring of the divine artifact fragment was very successful, allowing Xiao Jin to advance to a new level. Since everything has been arranged, it seems that I'll have to find a place to cultivate and continue increasing my power. Xia Ping touched his chin. His current power was considered quite good. He could protect himself from the attacks of an invincible saint with his own power alone. He could even use the power of a divine artifact to heavily injure his enemies. Even so, it was still difficult for him to kill an invincible saint. After all, invincible saints were not that easy to kill. Their ability to survive could be said to be unparalleled in the universe. Although many invincible saints had fallen in the intense war of the primordial era, a considerable number of them had survived. Moreover, they were the main force standing on the front lines. From this, one could see the invincible saint's ability to survive. As such, he had to continue increasing his power. Otherwise, there was no guarantee that no accidents would happen in the future. Most importantly, there was the great enemy of the angel race. That mysterious master still made him unable to eat or sleep in peace. It seemed that if he did not keep his guard up, he might be ambushed by the angel race. Master! At this moment, Luna's voice was heard. What's wrong? Luna. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He knew that Luna, who was in hell, would not contact him if nothing happened. Something big must have happened in hell. There's a problem in the burning hell. A large number of demons are attacking the burning hell. There are many primordial demons among them. Luna's voice was heard. Luna's voice could be heard, but her voice was still very calm. To her, losing the burning hell wasn't a big deal. However, the burning hell was her home. She could not let other demons occupy it so easily. What's going on? Xia Ping frowned. He remembered that after the attack of the void monsters, there shouldn't be many powerful demons around the Green Lotus Hell. Normally speaking, no demon would attack a medium hell plane like the burning hell. After all, the hell of the Green Lotus was a high-level hellish plane, and was in the process of evolving into a demon god plane. It was huge, and there wasn't enough time to just take over the hell of the Green Lotus. How could there be any powerful fiend devils invading the burning hell? If they dared to come, he would just kill them and eradicate them. There was no need to reason with those evil demons. When will they start attacking the burning hell? Xia Ping asked. Because we received the news late, they will probably start attacking tomorrow, Luna said. I understand. If they want to fight, then let's fight and keep them in the burning hell. Xia Ping clenched his fists. He happened to be lacking a large number of rare fruits and fertilizer for the world tree. These evil demons actually dared to attack him. They really didn't know how to write the word death. Half a day later, Xia Ping directly passed through the void passageway and arrived at the burning hell. Returning to hell once again, he could smell the smell of sulfur in the surroundings. It was a feeling that he hadn't felt for a long time. The golden crow of hell bloodline in his body was stirring. It was as if every cell of the golden crow of hell was breathing, swallowing the source energy of hell. After advancing to the immemorial realm, he felt that his understanding of hell's source energy had become deeper. Master! At this moment, Luna appeared in front of Xia Ping. She emitted a powerful dark aura that seemed to distort the void and corrode this space-time region. Seems like you've improved a lot recently. Xia Ping could sense Luna's current strength. After not seeing her for a period of time, she had actually advanced to the ancient sage realm. Clearly, she had already grasped the law of creation. Such strength had improved by leaps and bounds. During this period of time, with the help of the war with the demigod evil demons, Luna had probably devoured the power of countless evil demons. 2K Reading Network. Chapter 2812. My Lord. A large number of elite demons appeared behind Luna. They were all Xia Ping's dependents. Affected by the infernal Golden Crow's bloodline, they were forcibly transformed into the demon god's dependents. Their strength also increased by leaps and bounds. Each of them was ferocious. Their bodies were filled with the terrifying power of flames. It was as if their blood was burning. Clearly, the strength of these demons had also increased rapidly during this period of time. Moreover, the increase in strength and the influence of the bloodline had caused the temperament of these demons to undergo earth-shattering changes. If it were the demons from before, they would have packed their bags and prepared to run when they heard that a demigod demon faction was planning to attack the burning hell. But now, not only did they not have any intention of running, but they were also extremely fanatical and fearless. Each of them wanted to fight to the death with a terrifying flame burning in the depths of their hearts. Luna, what's the background of the enemy? Xia Ping asked. He didn't ask in detail before, so he wanted to know the general situation. The enemy is the demigod demon Felipe's demon army. There are more than 10 million of them, but Felipe didn't come this time. Instead, it's his lord-level demons, namely the primordial demon Cameron and the other demons. Luna knew the information like the back of her hand. It said that there are a total of 49 primordial demons attacking the burning hell this time, led by the primordial demon Cameron. The reason why they sent so many of them is to make sure nothing goes wrong. They want to sweep through the many medium hell planes and capture all the demons as slaves. Speaking up to here, she paused and continued. This Cameron isn't a big deal. The problem is that if we kill Cameron and the other primordial demons, their leader, the demigod demon Felipe, will probably come personally. She was only worried about the demigod demon Felipe. The other demons weren't a threat. It doesn't matter. Even if that demigod demon Felipe comes personally, I'll kill him. Xia Ping clenched his fists, murderous. Rumble. At this moment, the entire burning hell shook violently as if it had encountered a huge impact. The boundary outside the burning hell seemed to have been hit by a powerful force, causing a huge earthquake that shook back and forth. Those demons are coming ahead of time. Luna said in a low voice, a fierce glint in her eyes. Yes, let's go meet them. Xia Ping was expressionless. Under the perception of his divine sense, a dense horde of demons had appeared outside the burning hell. Their numbers had reached tens of millions, and it was like an army pressing down on the border. Among them, there were 49 primordial demons, and they were scattered all over the place, unscrupulously exuding the tyrannical aura of a world domain. It seemed as if the tyrannical power of the world domain was fiercely colliding with the burning hell. Fortunately, Xia Ping had modified the burning hell previously. He had set up a series of restrictive formations, forming a huge spatial barrier that had a certain degree of defensive power. Otherwise, this group of evil demons would have rushed up to kill, burn, and plunder during the collision just now. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In an instant, Xia Ping, Luna, and the many burning abyss devils around them flickered and appeared outside the burning hell's spatial barrier. They faced the abyss devil army from afar, and their auras clashed fiercely. Are you the demon lords of this middle hell plane? My name is Cameron, and I'm a demon lord under Felipe. I'm here on Lord Felipe's orders to recruit you to fight for the great Felipe. The primordial demon Cameron roared angrily and looked down at Xia Ping and the others. Now, I order you to quickly open the spatial barrier of this hell plane so that our army can enter unimpeded and unharmed. If you obstruct us even a little, you'll definitely die without a burial. You'll have to weigh the consequences yourself. There was a hint of ferocity in his eyes, and he ordered Xia Ping as if he was ordering his subordinates. Rumble. At this moment, tens of millions of evil demons appeared behind him, and each of them exuded an aura that distorted the void. The terrifying demonic aura filled the void of hell, forming an absolute domain. All of them were glaring at the burning hell with murderous intent and bloodshot eyes. They seemed to be drooling over the burning hell and couldn't wait to enter the burning hell to burn, kill, and plunder. They were only waiting for the order from their leader. Wait. So what if I don't open the barrier? What can you do to me? Xia Ping looked indifferently at the group of evil demons. He was very calm, and there were no ripples in his heart. Impudent. To the side, an ancient demon angrily shouted, "What kind of attitude is that? What kind of tone is that? You dare to speak to Sir Cameron in such a manner? What kind of propriety is this? Hurry up and kneel down, kowtow 3 times and kowtow 9 times, and beg for Sir Cameron's forgiveness. This is the burning hell, my territory. I advise you to hurry up and leave. Don't make me angry, or you won't have a good ending." Xia Ping tried to dissuade them. Pig-headed. Another evil demon flew into a rage. "And, you're courting death. Do you know that? I gave you a chance to live like a dog, but you didn't cherish it. You actually dare to resist? You're courting death. Lord Cameron, don't waste words with this brat. He's refusing a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Let's take advantage of this opportunity to kill the chicken to scare the monkey. Slaughter all the fiends in the burning hell. Let's set an example for the fiends of the infernal plane. This is the result of trying to resist our fiend army." That's right. These country bumpkins won't shed tears until they see the coffin. If we don't kill them all, they won't know our name. The numerous evil demons seethed with killing intent as they glared at Xia Ping. They felt as if their dignity had been greatly insulted. A puny country bumpkin dared to resist their army? He even dared to show them disdain. If this wasn't an insult, then what was? If they didn't kill this troublemaker, then wouldn't the rest of the hell plane resist even more fiercely? How were they supposed to complete Lord Cameron's mission? Their killing intent soared, and they were ready to kill the chicken to scare the monkey. Slaughter all the evil demons in this hell plane. Capture the leaders and behead them as a warning to the rest of the world. Killing intent surged from the primordial demon Cameron. The void of hell around him was suddenly filled with killing intent. The heavens and earth turned upside down as dragons and snakes rose from the ground. Xia Ping made a grabbing motion, and a meter-long golden sword appeared in his right hand. Shockingly, Goldie had transformed into a golden sword that had traversed the void. With the golden sword in hand, a terrifying aura and power erupted from him, forming a sword domain that suppressed the entire hell plane. Third Sect Leader. Chapter 2813. Space-Time Shackle. Xia Ping held the golden sword in his hand, and a powerful world domain power spread out. It was not just one world domain, but 9 world domains. Rumble, world after world came crashing down, covering hundreds of thousands of light-years of spacetime. In an instant, the hell spacetime was completely shackled, and it was almost impossible to move. What? The expressions of the primordial demons, led by Carmelo, changed drastically. They sensed that the spacetime they were in had been completely shackled, and even time seemed to have stopped. At the same time, they found that they could not use any power, and they could not even spread out their divine senses. They were completely shackled in this area. Impossible, we are primordial demons. How can we be shackled so easily? Carmelo and the other primordial demons found it hard to believe that such a thing could happen. If even the primordial demons were in such a state, there was no need to mention the other demons. Even their minds had stopped working, and they had no idea what was happening. Only the immemorial fiends were able to break free from the shackles, but that was all they could do. However, it was only natural that Xia Ping could do such a thing. The world domain he had was already far beyond that of primordial saints of the same level. Even primordial saints could not compare to it, not to mention that he had 9 world domains. The power of these 9 world domains stacked together was not as simple as 1 + 1. It could easily shackle spacetime in an instant, and primordial saints could not break free at all. Vanish. Xia Ping had no interest in explaining anything to these demons. He circulated the world power in his body and infused it into the golden sword, immediately activating the supreme sword Dao divine ability, space-time sword array. In an instant, the golden sword immediately split into billions of tiny golden flying swords, forming a terrifying sword array. Countless sword chi spread out, covering the hell spacetime. In the next second, the space-time sword array moved. Swish, swish, swish. Hundreds of millions of golden sword chi blasted out, seemingly flying out from the cracks in spacetime. They were indestructible and contained terrifying sword Dao power. Each sword chi could pierce through spacetime. Arg! Immediately, Carmelo and the other primordial demons were unable to even struggle. Their bodies were immediately pierced through, and the terrifying sword chi instantly obliterated their souls. Moreover, it wasn't just the primordial demons. Many of the demons that had been dispatched this time couldn't escape the space-time sword chi's wrath. All of them were minced into dregs, and not even their bones were left. Boom! Immediately, all the demons that invaded the burning hell were annihilated. Countless corpses of demons floated in the hell's void, like a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. Too strong. Sir Lord is so strong that it makes one's hair stand on end. He destroyed the invading primordial demon with a single sword strike. Just what kind of martial power is this? As expected of the Lord with the demon god's bloodline. We followed the right boss. When the devils of the burning hell saw this, all of them were amazed. Although they did not run away in fear when facing the enemy, they were more or less clueless. Even if they fought, there would definitely be a large number of casualties. But now, without expending a single soldier, they actually annihilated this group of invading demons, and it was truly beyond their expectations. All of them were extremely excited, feeling that they had followed the right boss. Although they already knew that devils with the demon god's bloodline would definitely stand at the peak of hell. But they didn't expect that they would obtain such strength so quickly. As expected of Master, Luna looked at Xia Ping with admiration. However, she also felt that it was natural. No one knew her master's strength better than her. These puny devils couldn't be compared to him at all. Stop pretending to be dead. Stand up. Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back, calmly looking at the primordial demon lying quietly in the pile of corpses. Because the invading devils weren't completely annihilated. There was still one primordial demon that hadn't died. In fact, Xia Ping had purposely left it alive. His goal was to let it go back and inform him. Spare me, spare my life. This matter has nothing to do with me. It really has nothing to do with me. Hearing this, the primordial demon shivered. Knowing that it couldn't hide it anymore, it hurriedly jumped up. When it saw that all of its companions had died, it was immediately scared out of its wits. Its entire body couldn't stop trembling in fear. At this moment, the primordial demon knelt in the void, begging for mercy and crying bitterly. Now, it was simply regretting its actions. If it had known earlier, it wouldn't have followed Camaro out. Before they even started to sweep through the medium plane of hell, the army that it sent out this time was annihilated. What a miserable and unlucky thing this was. Don't worry, I won't kill you. Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back and looked at the primordial demon indifferently. I have another use for you. I want you to go back and tell Felipe not to send more devils to invade my burning hell. Otherwise, I'll kill every devil I see. Even Felipe will be slaughtered. What? Hearing this, the primordial demon jerked its head up and looked at Xia Ping in disbelief. Was this guy completely crazy? He actually dared to provoke Demon Felipe. Who didn't know that Demon Felipe was a demigod devil? Even in a high-level plane of hell, he was a king-level devil. He was a peerless expert that reigned over trillions of devils and controlled the lives and deaths of countless devils. But this guy actually dared to provoke Felipe. If this wasn't courting death, then what was? It couldn't believe that this kid actually dared to speak to Felipe in such a tone. What are you looking at? Hurry up and scram. Do you want to die? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and looked at the primordial demon. His body emitted a faint murderous aura. He didn't conceal it at all. It was as if he would kill the primordial demon if it didn't leave. I'll leave now. I'll leave now. Feeling the dense murderous aura, the primordial demon no longer acted arrogantly. It immediately shivered and hurriedly ran away. But even so, it looked back 3 times with every step it took. It was afraid that Lin Fan was lying to it and would kill it from a distance while it wasn't paying attention. In fact, there were quite a number of devils with such a bad taste. On the surface, it seemed as if they had let the other party go. But in reality, when they let the other party go, they would ruthlessly kill the other party. It was all for the sake of seeing the other party's expression change from hope to despair. But after it fled far away, it realized that Xia Ping still hadn't made a move. Immediately, it believed Xia Ping's words and sped up to escape from the burning hell. In the blink of an eye, it had left this extremely dangerous place. Chapter 28:14. One day later, Cameron and the other primordial fiends had gone to sweep through the middle hells to capture able-bodied men, only to be defeated by a fiend from one of the middle hells. The news spread like wildfire throughout the Hell of the Green Lotus, and many other fiend factions learned of it. No matter how you looked at it, Cameron had been Felipe's trusted general, and he'd brought his elite troops with him. But now he'd fallen. It could be said that Cameron's death had dealt a heavy blow to Felipe's forces, putting him at a disadvantage in the struggle for control of the Hell of the Green Lotus. A stupid Carmelo, I've long since seen that guy as an eyesore. He's always pretending to be a decent person, relying on the power of the invincible demon Felipe to commit all sorts of evil deeds, looking down on demons everywhere. Now he's been killed by other fiends, and he can't even escape. This is retribution. One of the fiends laughed heartily when he heard the news. He felt like he'd finally gotten his revenge. I wonder what Felipe's expression will be like when he learns of this. His trusted general has died. If he doesn't get revenge, he'll lose all his face. Some of the fiends were gloating. He's definitely going to send an army. If Felipe doesn't get revenge, he'll lose all his face. But what's the origin of the burning hell? How could it be so terrifying? Even Cameron and the other primordial fiends died there. Some of the fiends were curious about the burning hell. I'm not sure. I've asked the fiends who are very familiar with the Hell of the Green Lotus, but none of them know where it came from. It seems to have appeared out of nowhere. Actually, that's normal. There are just too many middle hells. They're like the stars in the sky. Even the most familiar fiends can't know every middle hells like the back of their hands. But isn't this burning hell a bit too terrifying? It's just a middle hells. Normally speaking, a hells like this can only give birth to primordial fiends. But now, it's even giving birth to a primordial fiend. Is there something special about the burning hell? There must be something special about it. Take the Green Lotus Hell for example. All of the high-level demons have clearly fled, and it's fated to be devoured by the void monsters and disappear from this hell. But who would have thought that the group of void monsters that entered the Hell of the Green Lotus would all die? Their flesh, blood, essence, and origin would fuse with the Hell of the Green Lotus and promote the evolution of the Hell of the Green Lotus. The word fate is simply too wonderful for words. It can only be said that the Hell of Green Lotus is hiding a great secret. Otherwise, something like this would not have happened. From the looks of it, it's not just the Hell of the Green Lotus that has a great secret. Many of the medium hell planes around it might also have a great secret. Looks like coming to the Hell of the Green Lotus was the right decision. If I can find some secrets, I might be able to advance to the demon god stage. Then, should we go to the burning hell to take a look and probe its secrets? Don't act rashly. It seems that Felipe intends to mobilize his army. Don't recklessly confront Felipe. After all, when Felipe is in a rage, he is not someone to be trifled with. We can only wait and see. Many demons discussed among themselves. They were all extremely curious about the burning hell, this medium hell plane. At the same time, they were also slightly fearful of it. They wanted to wait and see. After all, The power that could bury the immemorial demon Camaro and his demon army was not to be underestimated. At this time, somewhere in the hell of the Green Lotus, it was the castle where the invincible demon Felipe was. At this moment, the ancient demon had already run back from the burning hell. He came before the invincible demon Felipe and reported everything that had happened. "What did you say?" After listening to the ancient demon's report, the invincible demon Felipe's eyes widened. He roared angrily, "That lord of the burning hell, Feng Du, is so arrogant. He killed all the demons except for you. Is it because he wanted you to come back and inform me so that I would know that Feng Du was the one who did this?" He was so angry that he was about to explode. He was not even this angry. After all, he was the invincible demon Felipe. He controlled an army of hundreds of millions of demons. He had unparalleled battle strength. Even a slight breath was enough to cause the hell of the Green Lotus to catch a cold for 3 days. Countless forces were shocked. Who knew how many demons would tremble when they heard Felipe's name, not daring to move? But this lord of the burning hell, Feng Du, not only was he not afraid of him, he seemed to be afraid that he did not know that this kid was the one who did this. He had killed most of the demons, leaving only one alive. His goal was to inform him of this matter. How rampant and insolent was this kind of behavior? He had never seen such an arrogant demon in his life. That's right. That demon Feng Du is arrogant and despotic. He doesn't care about you at all. That kid is easy to deal with. If you still dare to invade, you will even kill the king. His head will be hung on the city gate for 3 years. If I didn't endure humiliation and go through fire to tell Lord Felipe about this matter, I would have killed myself on the city wall. The ancient demon cried bitterly and added fuel to the fire. At the same time, he also expressed his loyalty. Feng Du. The invincible demon Felipe said angrily, "Insolent brat, you still want to cut off my head? I'll send my army to the border and burn the hell. I want to see how this brat will cut off my head." He was infuriated to the extreme. He had never seen a demon provoke him like this in his life. This was the first time Devil Feng Du had done so. He yearned to tear the punk into pieces. But Lord Felipe, that Devil Feng Du is very sinister. You need to reconsider. The ancient demon was a little traumatized. He did not wish to provoke the terrifying Devil Feng Du. "Shut up." Invincible demon Felipe roared. "Reconsider? Since when do I, grim demon Felipe, need to think thrice? Who in the entire hell void can kill me, invincible demon Felipe? What a joke. I'll kill him now. Let's see what capabilities he has to provoke me." He had already made up his mind to eradicate the arrogant and despotic burning hell. If he did not get back at Feng Du, how was he to survive in the Green Lotus hell in the future? Furthermore, he was an invincible demon that had comprehended the laws of life and death. He was a half-step fiend celestial. Under normal circumstances, only he could kill demons. No other demons could kill him. Therefore, he was not afraid of anything. "Set off. All demons, follow me. Let's wipe out the burning hell." Invincible demon Felipe roared angrily. Yes. Many abyss devils roared. Chapter 28:15. Several days later, not far from the burning hell, a huge black fleet suddenly appeared. They set off from the Green Lotus hell and finally arrived near the burning hell. This black fleet had over 100 battleships. However, they weren't super battleships like the ones in the universe. Instead, they were ordinary hell spaceships that could withstand the power of the hell monsoons. To hell demons, spaceships were only tools to protect them from the hell monsoons. They weren't responsible for their main combat capabilities. They were the strongest combat power. Moreover, they didn't have this technology. Ancient hell runes appeared on these black spaceships. They emitted a profound aura, and they looked like terrifying hell beasts. Each spaceship was thousands of kilometers long. They were extremely dark, as though they had devoured all the light around them. They silently hid in the void of hell and didn't make a single sound. Usually, when these spaceships got close, the demons wouldn't even notice that they had arrived. However, these spaceships emitted a powerful demonic aura. They didn't seem to have any intention of concealing it. They shook the void of hell and were ferocious and murderous. Any demon that saw this fleet would tremble in fear and feel that a great disaster was about to befall them. This fleet was led by invincible Felipe. This time, he had led most of the elite demons under his command. It was as though he had turned out in full force. Clearly, he was going to personally kill the chickens to scare the monkeys. At this moment, there seemed to be a huge black skull in front of the largest black spaceship. It was more than 10 times the size of the other spaceships. Invincible demon Felipe and many primordial demons were on this black spaceship. "We've arrived, Lord Felipe. The burning hell isn't far ahead." At this moment, a primordial demon stepped forward and said to invincible demon Felipe, "That's the burning hell? Is this really just a mid-level hell plane?" Invincible demon Felipe narrowed his eyes and revealed a cold glint as he looked at the burning hell in the distance. Right now, the burning hell was very eye-catching in the dark void of hell. It was especially huge and it emitted a scorching light. Boundless flames were burning fiercely. From afar, it looked like a blazing sun. It emitted boundless heat as though it was the only existence in the nearby hell. One could imagine how conspicuous the burning hell was right now. The other intermediate hellish planes paled in comparison to the burning hell. Because of this, the burning hell had been the first target of Cameron and the other high fiends. What an enormous inferno hell! It's filled with the essence energy of hell, and it's brimming with life force. Just how much of hell's essence has this inferno hell devoured? Many demons could not help but exclaim when they saw the burning hell. They were experienced and knowledgeable demons who had seen countless intermediate hell planes, and even some advanced hell planes. But in terms of medium hell planes, none could compare to the burning hell. In fact, some high hell planes might not even have such phenomena. It was as if the infernal hell would rise to the level of a higher hellish plane sooner or later. Who would have thought that such a powerful and mysterious medium hell plane would appear in such a desolate place? Some demons couldn't help but exclaim, "Good stuff. This is really good stuff." Just how many precious hellish materials and treasures could be nurtured in a place with such rich hellish essence energy? As long as we can loot it, we'll definitely make a fortune. That's not all. Every demon born in a hell plane like this has a rich demonic bloodline. Their potential is limitless. If we sell them, they'll definitely be worth cities. Fools. Why sell them? Of course we'll keep them as slaves and train them. In the future, they'll definitely become elite demons and fight for us. The high fiends discussed animatedly. Their eyes shone with greed, as though they wanted nothing more than to enter the burning hell and plunder all the treasures and fiends within. What a bunch of idiots! What capturing fiends and plundering treasures? These are all thoughts of drying up the fish pond. This is too much of a waste. A high fiend couldn't help but shout in excitement, "Do you know what hell plane this is? It's on the verge of ascending to a higher hell plane. If we can control the burning hell's essence and refine it, we'll become its ruler. Then when the burning hell ascends to a higher hell plane, we'll be its rulers." He clenched his fists. What? His words were earth-shattering. The high fiends couldn't help but tremble. Ruler of a higher hell plane was a shocking title. Even in the current hell, there weren't many demons who could become the ruler of a higher hell plane. After all, it was far too difficult to obtain the acknowledgement of a high-level hellish plane essence. In fact, it was practically impossible. But the middle hell plane was different. Even high fiends could easily refine the origin of a middle hell plane. If the middle hell plane ascended to a higher hell plane, then the ruler of the middle hell plane would ascend with it. At that time, they would definitely gain endless benefits. If high fiends refined it, then they could ascend to the invincible saint realm. If invincible demons refined it, then they could instantly grow to the fulfillment of the invincible realm and reach the half-step demon god realm. They would be the strongest experts in hell at present. In fact, many demons understood this and knew how to do it. The problem was that it was too difficult for a middle hell plane to ascend to a higher hell plane. It had never happened since ancient times. There were as many middle hell planes as there were stars in the sky. Those who could ascend to a higher hell plane could be counted on one's fingers since ancient times. Therefore, finding a middle hell plane that had a chance to ascend to a higher hell plane was no different from finding a needle in a haystack. It was like hitting the jackpot. My God, it's true. We almost wasted God's gift. If we integrate the burning hell's essence into our souls and wait for it to ascend, we'll be in trouble. Conquer. We must conquer the burning hell and seize its essence. The demons roared, all extremely excited. They weren't fools. How could they not know that this was an unprecedented opportunity? When they saw the burning hell, it was as if they saw a huge treasure. Chapter 28:16. At this moment, some of the demons who had followed Demon Felipe's fleet here in the infernal hell saw this as well. Before, the infernal hell was just a nameless mid-level hell plane. But now that it was revealed to the demons, they were shocked. Damn it! This is a mid-level hell that can be promoted to a high-level hell plane. One of the demons shrieked. No, we can't let Felipe succeed. If he refines the infernal hell's origin and promotes the infernal hell to a high-level hell plane, we'll be in big trouble. Who can be Felipe's match? One of the demons bellowed. It could imagine that if the invincible demon Felipe took control of the infernal hell and became the master of a high-level hell plane, he would be able to sweep through the invincible demons in the Green Lotus Hell. The invincible demon Felipe's strength would also rise to an unprecedented realm, which was definitely not a good thing for the other demon forces. Stop it. We have to stop Demon Felipe. We can't let him get the infernal hell. The problem is, how do we stop him? He's an invincible demon. If we go out, we'll be slapped to death instantly. Go back and report this. Let the invincible demons come and stop him. Many of the demon scouts discussed animatedly. They also felt the seriousness of this matter. Originally, they were only here as observers, but who would have thought that they would actually discover such a secret? Fortunately, they had come to investigate. Otherwise, if Demon Felipe were to soar to great heights, the other demons would have to look up to him in the future. The scouting demons couldn't sit still any longer. They quickly left the place and returned to the Green Lotus Hell to report. There's actually a mid-level hell plane here that can be promoted to a high-level hell plane. This is unbelievable. Demon Felipe's eyes gleamed coldly. The origin of the infernal hell is unbelievably thick. It's as if it's blessed by the origin of hell. Could it be that Fengdu, who killed Cameron and the other demons, was willing to risk his life to fight me, Demon Felipe, for this eternal opportunity? But no matter what this brat is thinking, I, Felipe, have come to this place to sweep through everything and kill the chicken to scare the monkey. All the treasures and benefits belong to me, and any demon that stands in my way must die. It clenched its fists, its body exuding boundless killing intent that shook the heavens. Not only did it want revenge, but it also wanted to improve its cultivation base. It was determined to get its hands on the essence of the burning hell. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The spaceships quickly approached the burning hell. They sped up, trying to break through the defense of the burning hell and kill all the demons inside. Boom! But at this moment, a golden claw reached out from the depths of the burning hell. Golden lava energy condensed into a tangible substance, incessantly burning with scorching flames. This was the infernal golden crow claw. Xia Ping, who was sitting in the center of the burning hell, attacked at this moment. He clawed out from the inside of the burning hell, displaying endless killing intent. The infernal golden crow claw was engraved with dense hell runes. The massive golden crow energy condensed into a tangible substance, emitting a destructive aura. It was like a terrifying claw that stretched out from the depths of the Styx River. Especially after Xia Ping had advanced to the archaic realm, this infernal golden crow claw bloodline mystique had become even more terrifying. When the claw struck down, it seemed to form a world domain, enveloping the surrounding hell and freezing time and space. You dare to destroy my fleet? You're courting death. Feeling this earth-shattering claw, invincible demon Felipe roared angrily. He flew out of the battleship and punched out from the air. Bloodline mystique, great demon god of desolation fist. This fist contained an ancient and savage aura. It was earth-shattering and seemed to contain the epic of hell. It was as if a demon god had walked out from the depths of the epic, displaying the peerless power of the laws of life and death. Boom! The infernal golden crow claw and the great demon god of desolation fist collided, immediately erupting with an earth-shattering sound. The intense collision of the two energies produced a terrifying explosive power. The two energies also produced a terrifying shockwave that spread out in all directions. The surrounding battleships seemed to be unable to withstand the strong winds and were blown tens of millions of kilometers away. Terrifying cracks also appeared on the battleships. Cracking sounds rang out as if they were about to be shattered by the shockwave. Even some demons on the battleships bled from their 7 orifices and fell unconscious on the ground. The might of this claw was so terrifying. Many demons were shocked. Before coming here, they already knew that a demon in the burning hell had killed the archaic demon Cameron and the other demons. But they didn't expect this demon to be so terrifying, to be able to resist Demon Felipe to this extent. All of them were shocked. In an instant, Xia Ping's figure flashed and immediately appeared in the burning hell's void. He stood in the void and looked at Demon Felipe in the distance. Demon Fengdu. Demon Felipe's eyes narrowed as he stared at Xia Ping with a look of disbelief. This kid was at most an early-stage archaic demon. But the power that erupted from that claw was actually comparable to his great demon god of desolation fist. How unbelievable was this? It was simply unheard of. Because under normal circumstances, it was impossible for an archaic demon to be a match for an invincible demon. They would be killed in a single exchange. It was simply impossible for them to fight to a draw. Demon Felipe, you still dare to invade my burning hell? You've got guts. Do you want to die? Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back, looking at the group of demons indifferently without the slightest hint of fear. Arrogant. Hearing this, Demon Felipe laughed loudly. Mere archaic demon dares to say such words to me, Demon Felipe? Who's the one that wants to die? He was so angry that he laughed. He was an invincible demon, a true demon that dominated the burning hell. And this kid was at most an archaic demon. But this kid actually dared to boast shamelessly, saying that he had guts and even asked if he wanted to die. This was like an ant challenging an elephant, asking if the elephant was courting death for daring to step on him. For so many years, Demon Felipe had dominated the burning hell, slaughtering nonstop. But he had never heard such a joke. Chapter 28:17. Go to hell. Invincible Demon Felipe roared angrily. He did not care whether this kid was arrogant or confident. In any case, all demons who stood in his way had to die and turn into dust. Bloodline magic, wild sand hell. Rumble, in an instant, with invincible Demon Felipe's body as the center, a terrifying world covered a radius of thousands of light years, as if it had suddenly turned into a wild sand hell. This was a terrifying desert world made up of gravel. It was filled with drought, death, and scorching heat. Any life that entered it would be sucked dry of blood and turned into a dried corpse. Under the cover of this wild sand hell, no demon could escape. Every grain of black gravel would be blown up by the wind, containing a terrifying power of death. If it hit an enemy, the power of death would instantly invade their body and corrode their entire body, causing them to die without a complete corpse. Moreover, it was extremely difficult to break through this wild sand hell. All the attack power that bombarded this world would be devoured and turned into the power of death. In other words, the more one attacked this world, the stronger this wild sand hell would become. Lord Felipe is going all out from the start. It seems that this demon Grey Dew is dead for sure. What a pity. I wanted to see this kid's strength, but it seems that I won't have the chance. Once Lord Felipe uses his full strength, the game will be over. This kid will definitely die. Many demons in the distance were discussing. They all looked at Xia Ping with pity. All of them thought that Xia Ping, the primordial demon, was dead for sure and had no hope of survival. Because they did not know how many times they had seen invincible Demon Felipe use this move. Even an invincible realm demon would have to spend a lot of effort to resist this move. Not to mention a mere primordial demon. It was likely that Guidu would be dead in a single move. A cold light flashed in Xiaoping's eyes. He immediately felt as if he had entered a sand hell. He was surrounded by an endless black desert. The wind howled and emitted a deathly still aura. The death monsoon blew in all directions. The black gravel attacked. Every grain of gravel was a terrifying bullet containing the power of death. It could easily penetrate the defense of a saint. If an ordinary saint stayed in this place, he would probably be killed in an instant and become a dried corpse. Earthquake. In the blink of an eye, Xiaoping grabbed the golden sword transformed from the golden slime and activated his fifth divine ability, Earthquake. This sacred art came from the source energy of the Mother Earth Stone. If this earthquake sacred art was used, it could cause the earth to shake, the void to vibrate, and a spatial storm. By the time Xiao Jin leveled up to become a half-step divine artifact, this magic skill had reached an unprecedented level. A casual swing from it could tear space apart and sink continents. Xiaoping held the golden sword in his hand and waved it gently, completely activating the earthquake divine ability. In an instant, the entire hell of sand trembled and rumbled. At that moment, the hell of sand kept on trembling. Every single grain of black sand jumped along with the tremors. It was as if the entire world could not withstand such a terrifying frequency of tremors. Kacha! Kacha! The entire hell of sand seemed to be shattering. With Xiaoping's body as the center, a terrifying sound wave was produced, blasting out in all directions. The frequency of the tremors appeared billions of times, destroying everything. Along the way, all the black gravel was shaken into a powdery state. Even the gale was easily torn apart, unable to withstand such a bombardment. Impossible! You're just an ancient demon, yet you're able to shatter my hell of sand. What a joke! At the sight of this, the invincible demon Felipe went crazy. He was a sand demon that had successfully condensed the hell of sand. When he displayed the power of his domain, he was simply invincible and invincible. If a demon of the same level could withstand this move of his, he would still be able to understand it. However, this kid before him was just an ancient demon, yet he was able to shatter the hell of sand that he had condensed with a single swing of his sword. How could he accept something like that? Are you kidding me? How could he shatter Lord Felipe's hell of sand so easily? What's going on? This is the life and death domain of an invincible realm demon. It's equivalent to a plane of hell. When it shrouds down, it's basically crushing. Any demon below the invincible realm will definitely die. No way! Could it be that this demon Guidu is pretending to be weak? He's actually an invincible realm demon that's just pretending to be an ancient demon. His purpose is to make Lord Felipe lower his guard? Impossible. Even so, Lord Felipe didn't lower his guard and still used all his strength. But even so, this demon Guidu still shattered the hell of sand. It's fake. It must be an illusion. How could a mere ancient demon fight with Lord Felipe to such an extent? All the demons widened their eyes in disbelief. At first, they thought that this kid was dead for sure. They didn't expect that he would shatter the power of invincible demon Felipe's domain in just one move. They had never seen any ancient demon that could do this. No one could imagine the shock and disbelief in the depths of their hearts at this moment. Mighty thunder! But Xiaoping didn't care about the feelings of the invincible demon Felipe. The power of the 9 great seas of consciousness burst out at the same time. It was as turbulent as the power of the 9 great worlds. He held the golden long sword in his hand and slashed out again. The 8th magical power of the golden slime, mighty thunder. It could summon a sea of thunder and form an absolute thunder domain. It was like a thunder catastrophe, and it could kill the enemy. It was extremely destructive. This power came from the Thunder God Stone. Whoosh! In an instant, with Xiaoping's body as the center, billions of purple thunderbolts were summoned. Each one was the size of a bucket and contained a terrifying aura of thunder catastrophe. This was no ordinary thunderbolt. It was the 9th heaven tribulation thunder. It had a natural restraining effect on demons and other creatures with negative attributes. Its power was terrifying. Descend and destroy this demon. Xia Ping waved the golden long sword in his hand lightly. Suddenly, billions of ninth heaven tribulation thunder descended at the same time, covering the area. With a crackling sound, it seemed to form an endless sea of thunder. These ninth heaven tribulation thunder seemed to have turned into lightning dragons. As if they had a consciousness of their own, they swam in the sea of thunder and attacked the demons in all directions. It was as if Yang attribute energy was automatically looking for Yin attribute energy. There was a natural attraction. Sogu website. Chapter 28:18. However, the attraction of the Yin and Yang attribute was fatal to the demons. Damn it. We can't face it head-on. Damn it. Retreat. We have to retreat immediately. We can't get involved in their battle. Otherwise, we're dead. Hurry up. Start the spaceship and leave. Are you trying to get us killed? Many demons panicked and cursed. They felt a fatal crisis. Although this attack was mainly aimed at the invincible demon Felipe, it was still not enough to stop them. Although this attack was mainly aimed at invincible demon Felipe, the aftermath could kill countless weak demons nearby. The battleships retreated quickly as if they wished their battleships had more legs. They desperately wanted to leave the battle range of Xia Ping and invincible demon Felipe. However, it was too late. A large number of ninth heaven tribulation lightning descended and bombarded the battleships like missiles. The demons in this sea of lightning all let out shrill screams. They were struck by the ninth heaven tribulation lightning and were instantly killed, turning into ashes. Suddenly, the black battleships were smashed and split from the middle. A large number of demons in the battleships could not withstand such a bombardment and were directly turned into ashes. Moreover, just a single shockwave had caused 1/3 of the warships to be lost, and countless demons had died. They were like cannon fodder, all of them disappearing. Invincible demon Felipe, who bore the brunt of the attack, faced the vast majority of the ninth heaven tribulation lightning. It was as if an endless sea of lightning was pouring down, completely drowning him. Armor of sand. Invincible demon Felipe roared. Endless black hell gravel gathered together and formed a total of 129,600 layers of armor of sand. Moreover, the armor of sand covered his body tightly. It was airtight and had no blind spots. In that instant, 1,000,000,000,000 bolts of tribulation lightning descended, bombarding the invincible demon Felipe's body. Each bolt of tribulation lightning easily shattered his armor of sand. In the end, even the 129,600 layers of sand armor were all shattered by the nine heavens tribulation lightning, which reached its body directly. With a hong sound, the invincible demon Felipe cried out miserably. His entire body was charred black by the electricity, and thick smoke rose. The terrifying power of thunder invaded his body, destroying every cell in his body. Even his soul was injured. Devil Fengdu, you're courting death. The invincible demon Felipe flew into a rage. Although the blow just now did not completely injure him, it made him feel great pain. It was a pain that he had not experienced for a long time. Moreover, he had been injured by a mere primordial demon. This was simply a disgrace to him. Crash, in just a breath's time, the injuries on the invincible demon Felipe's body were completely healed. It was as if he had devoured a large amount of life energy and completely healed his injuries. Not only did it not suffer any injuries, but it also became even more violent, like a completely enraged beast. Purgatory sand, fall into the yellow springs for me. The invincible demon Felipe was extremely violent. Trillions of red gravel condensed from his body, and from these red gravel, the terrifying power of death, heat, flames, burning, destruction, and so on permeated. This was because these red gravel were not ordinary gravel. They were terrifying gravel found in the ruins of a demon god in hell. Legend had it that they were picked from the purgatory hell. Every grain of gravel contained the power of purgatory. Once one was hit, The whole body would be eroded by the power of purgatory, robbing all the vitality in the body. At the same time, the blood in the body would burn and turn into ashes. And this was the invincible demon Felipe's trump card. With the purgatory sand in his hand, it was equivalent to having a super weapon. Other invincible demons were somewhat afraid of him. At this moment he took it out to kill this damned devil Fengdu and destroy this kid's prestige. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In an instant, endless purgatory sand gushed out from the invincible demon Felipe's body. It seemed to form a terrifying hell monsoon storm, like a tornado. The storm of the hell monsoon swept towards Xia Ping with terrifying might. It was as though the slightest gust of this hell monsoon was enough to turn a great 1,000 worlds into dust, leaving not even a single corpse behind. Amazing, but if you want to kill me, just this is far from enough. Xia Ping's pupils shrank. He could naturally feel the terrifying power of the invincible demon Felipe. The red gravel contained the terrifying power of purgatory. Even an invincible demon might not be able to resist it. If his body was hit, he would definitely be heavily injured. However, he had no fear in his heart. The ninth divine ability of the golden slime, heavenly crystal body. With this sword, one could transform into a heavenly crystal body. It was indestructible, and any physical attack could be temporarily immune once. The time interval was 1 hour. This ability came from the strange stone of the universe, heavenly crystal stone. Whoosh! In an instant, Xia Ping held the golden sword in his hand. From the depths of the golden sword, a huge amount of heavenly crystal power gushed out. In an instant, a huge crystal was formed outside his body, covering his whole body. This crystal was hexagonal and transparent. It shone with a dazzling light, just like a diamond. Its hardness seemed to be even stronger than the world barrier. Dong dong dong. At this moment, the hell storm formed by the invincible demon Felipe's purgatory sand attacked, bombarding Xia Ping's heavenly crystal body. In just an instant, the heavenly crystal body seemed to have suffered billions of attacks. The endless purgatory sand bombarded the heavenly crystal body, causing terrifying damage. The diamond-like heaven crystal body seemed to be unable to withstand such a terrifying destructive force, and a dense number of terrifying cracks appeared on it. It was as if the heavenly crystal body would be torn into pieces by this hell storm at any time. However, even though it looked like it was on the verge of collapse, the heavenly crystal body still stood tall. Until the hell storm ended, it was not completely destroyed. Damn it! It can actually block my purgatory sand. How is this possible? What kind of treasure is this? The invincible demon Felipe was simply crazy. The purgatory sand was his top trump card. Every time he attacked, there would be blood, causing the enemy to suffer unparalleled damage. Now, this brat had actually used some unknown method to actually block this fatal trump card of his. How inconceivable and outrageous was this? If he hadn't witnessed it with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed such an absurd fact. Sogu website. Chapter 28:19. Space-Time Sword Formation. After blocking the invincible demon Felipe's strongest attack, Xia Ping instantly attacked. He held the golden longsword in his hand and slashed at the invincible demon Felipe. Rumble! In an instant, with Xia Ping's body as the center, a sword formation that covered thousands of light years was formed. It seemed that as soon as the sword formation appeared, it immediately imprisoned the space-time of hell in all directions. All the demons within the range of the sword formation felt a powerful confinement force. It seemed that at this moment, other than being able to think, they could not move at all. Even time had stopped at this moment. Oh no! The invincible demon Felipe's expression changed drastically. He felt a fatal crisis approaching. Even though he was an invincible demon, he seemed to be temporarily imprisoned by the space-time sword formation. In a battle between peerless experts, even a second of imprisonment could be fatal. Such a decisive battle could not tolerate the slightest bit of carelessness. Bush, bush, bush. In an instant, hundreds of millions of golden sword auras flew out from the void. They contained an indestructible sharpness that seemed to be able to cut through all matter in the world. This sharpness came from the law of vibration. It cut through everything at an extremely high frequency. Even a vast thousand world would be easily cut in half. If it was hit by such sword auras, even if it was a demon that had comprehended the law of life and death, it would most likely be cut into countless pieces and would be seriously injured on the spot. Purgatory exploding stars. In an instant, the invincible demon Felipe roared. He simply used all his strength, operating the huge magic power in his body and gathering endless purgatory sand. Walala, in just a breath's time, hundreds of millions of balls of purgatory sand were condensed. Each of them seemed to be the size of an ordinary planet. They contained the terrible power of purgatory, such as death, destruction, heat, and so on. Moreover, this power was extremely unstable and seemed to be filled with terrifying heat. Rumble, in the next second, under the control of the invincible demon Felipe, hundreds of millions of balls formed from purgatory sand immediately exploded. It was like hundreds of millions of supernovae exploding, producing a terrifying power. Kachat, kachat, kachat. The space-time that was confined in all directions could not withstand such a shocking explosive power. The surrounding swordway domain was torn apart by this power. The surrounding void of hell was like glass, showing signs of shattering. Dense space-time fissures appeared, like a dense spider web. Ho-ho! The invincible demon Felipe gasped for breath. A large number of wounds had appeared on his body, and blood flowed from them. Clearly, he had paid a great price for destroying Xia Ping's space-time sword array. It had consumed almost half of its origin energy. Even an invincible realm devil couldn't recover to his peak state in a short time after such an amazing blow. I've finally found a flaw. Xia Ping's eyes flashed with a cold light. He activated the Golden Crow's Eye of Hell and locked onto Felipe's every move. He used all kinds of magical powers in order to create a flaw in the invincible demon Felipe. Clearly, he had finally succeeded at this moment. He used the space-time sword array and forced the invincible demon Felipe into a desperate situation. Finally, it revealed a fatal flaw. In an instant, Xia Ping's body flashed. He teleported and appeared in front of the invincible demon Felipe in an instant. He was so fast that no devil could react. Demon Fengdu. The invincible demon Felipe's hair stood on end. He sensed that Xia Ping had come to his side. A fatal crisis enveloped his whole body, causing all the cells in his body to tremble. But it was too late for him to escape. The blow that broke the space-time sword array just now had consumed a large part of his strength. There was no way he could recover so quickly. At this moment, he was in the moment when he had just used up his old strength and had not yet recovered. Although it was only a moment's flaw, Xia Ping still found it and used a fatal blow. Xia Ping didn't hesitate. He stabbed with the golden sword in his hand. It was like a meteor, but it also seemed like the blink of an eye. It instantly pierced through the invincible demon Felipe's chest. The sword was unbelievably fast. It seemed to have formed the trajectory of the laws and contained the rhythm of the great Tao. It was like an extremely powerful sword that came from the depths of hell. The sword pierced through Felipe's body before the other party could even notice it. It's useless. I'm an invincible demon. I've comprehended the laws of life and death. I can reverse the two energies of life and death. Even if you pierce through my body, you can't kill me. The invincible demon Felipe sneered. He was fearless. He even wanted to reach out to grab the golden sword in Xia Ping's hand and capture the demon Fengdu completely. The 13th divine ability, God-slaying power. Xia Ping was neither happy nor sad. He finally used the last divine ability of the golden slime. It was a terrifying divine ability that had been born after devouring 108 pieces of divine artifact shards. Rumble, immediately, a black destructive energy surged out from the depths of the golden sword. It seemed to bring about endless doomsday. It also seemed like the collapse of the universe, the end of an era, and the dusk of the gods. Although the power was weak, it could destroy everything. All laws turned into nothingness before it. It seemed like everything had returned to the primordial state. No. What kind of power is this? What kind of power is this? The invincible demon Felipe finally revealed a look of fear. He could feel death approaching. It was as if this power was even more terrifying than the power of the underworld, and it could bring the end to all things in the world. Even though he was an invincible demon who had comprehended the laws of life and death, he could not withstand this god-slaying power. Under the collision of this god-slaying power, the balance of the laws of life and death was crushed. The power of life and death was completely out of balance, and even the origin power of hell on his body was obliterated. Boom, in an instant, the invincible demon Felipe died. He did not even have time to scream. His entire body was shattered into pieces, and even his soul was shattered. Moreover, this god-slaying power did not end there. After killing the invincible demon Felipe, it seemed to turn into a terrifying beam of light, piercing through the space of hell, and set off for a distant space. Not far away from the infernal hell, there was a medium hell plane. The black beam of light instantly struck this medium hell plane. In the blink of an eye, the medium-level hellish plane shattered like an egg. Then, a huge black mushroom cloud rose up into the air. All the demons in the medium hell plane died. Not a single one survived. Chapter 28:20. God-slaying power? What kind of power is this? To be honest, Xia Ping was also stunned. Although he knew that this power was called God-slaying power and was said to be able to kill even gods, he did not expect it to be so powerful. Previously, he had only wanted to give it a try to see if he could kill the invincible demon. If he could not, he would probably have to think of another way. However, the power of this god-slaying power was simply beyond his imagination. Just a wisp of god-slaying power was enough to shatter the invincible demon Felipe's soul, causing him to die without being able to fight back. If he had the power of the golden slime before, he would definitely not have let the 3 invincible realm angels return alive. They would have all died tragically in the void of the universe. Too powerful. A cold light flashed in Xia Ping's eyes. He felt that this power was very ominous. It contained a terrifying power that could end everything and destroy everything. Even the laws would collapse because of it. He sensed that this was definitely a power that could slay gods, a power that could cause gods to fall. However, the golden slime currently only had a wisp of this god-slaying power. After using this attack, it would need at least 3 months to completely recover. If I could control this power, wouldn't I be invincible? Xia Ping was extremely shocked. He silently felt that the god-slaying power was filled with destructive, ominous, and other auras, but it was undoubtedly the strongest power. The so-called power was not ominous, dark, or anything else. It all depended on how the user used it. Of course, if one could not control this power, it would be a different matter. At this moment, when the invincible demon Felipe's subordinates saw this scene, they were all dumbfounded. They could not believe what they were seeing. You must be joking. Lord Felipe is dead? Killed by this demon Songdu? One of the primordial demons subconsciously swallowed a mouthful of saliva, his throat squirming. That's impossible. Lord Felipe is an invincible demon. Do you know that an invincible demon is an overlord of hell? An existence on the level of a king. Invincible demon, do you know that? How could such an existence be killed? What kind of hellish joke is this? One of the primordial fiends couldn't accept this reality, and he roared. But Lord Felipe is still dead. Even the aura of his soul has disappeared. He was stabbed to death by the demon Songdu. Another demon beside him could not help but say. Of course it knew how terrifying Felipe was. He had roamed the infernal realm for countless eras, and who knew how many times he had fought against the void monsters. And they had also witnessed Felipe's strength time and time again. It was absolutely extraordinary. Even an existence of the invincible demon's level would not be able to kill him. But such an existence had been stabbed to death by the demon Songdu in front of everyone. They had seen this happen with their own eyes. It could not be faked. Of the demon. Lord Felipe was killed by the illusion. of God, of the rank. Demon God Master, God, of Demon of God. The ancient demon roared. It felt that this was definitely an illusion. How could a mere ancient demon kill the invincible demon Felipe? If this wasn't an illusion, then how could it be possible? Boom. Just as the primordial demon finished speaking, Xia Ping's sword slashed out from afar. Ah! The ancient demon issued a pitiful scream. It was simply unable to resist. Its entire body was instantly cleaved in half by the golden sword light. Even its soul was crushed to smithereens. The ancient demons were stunned. Their hairs stood on end. They felt as though they had fallen into an icy hell. Their bodies shivered and shivered. How could this be an illusion? Nothing could be more real than this. Even an ancient demon was killed by the demon Tsangdu in a single slash. It had no strength to resist. And this was enough to prove the terrifying strength of the demon Tsangdu. Without a doubt, the demon Tsangdu was pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. On the surface, it looked like an ancient demon. But in reality, it was an invincible one. The reason they could not sense it was because they had been tricked. Heavens, what a despicable and shameless invincible devil. In order to make them lower their guard, it had even pretended to be an ancient demon to trick them. Invincible devils could rely on their own strength to kill gods. They did not need any crafty plots. But this demon Tsangdu was different. It was shameless. Even though it had reached the invincible realm, it still used all sorts of tricks. They were not afraid of the weak using tricks. What they were afraid of was the strong being shameless. This bastard demon Tsangdu was completely shameless. It was here to bully the weak. Do you want to live, or do you want to die? Xia Ping looked down at the group of devils with indifference. Of course we want to live. The ancient demons nodded their heads. Not a single one of them wanted to die. Even ants wanted to live, let alone powerful devils like them. Although Xia Ping was alone at the moment, they didn't feel as if they were outnumbered at all. They felt as if they were ants facing a supreme god. It's good that you want to live. Fuse with the nether god imprint. Xia Ping waved his hand. The golden crow of hell's bloodline in his body began to boil. It rapidly condensed billions of nether god imprints. This was the divine ability of his bloodline, nether god imprint. As long as they fused with the nether god imprint, these devils would become the golden crow of hell's dependents. At that time, their lives and deaths would be under his control. It was better to control these devils than to kill them. After all, the burning hell still needed a large number of devil soldiers to guard it. These ancient demons were the best soldiers to prevent all kinds of blind invaders in the future. Rumbled in an instant, these ancient demons did not dare to resist. They allowed the nether god imprint to fuse with their sea of consciousness and parasitize the deepest part of their souls. Not long after, these invincible demon Felipe's subordinates all became Xia Ping's subordinates. Right, there's also demon Felipe's corpse. Xia Ping waved his hand and immediately threw demon Felipe's broken corpse in front of the world tree for it to devour. He was looking forward to it. He did not know what kind of mysterious fruit the world tree would condense after devouring the corpse of the demon Felipe. After consuming such a fruit, his cultivation base would definitely improve by leaps and bounds. Chapter 28-21. At this moment, in a palace in the burning hell, Xia Ping was cultivating in seclusion. The demons subdued by Xia Ping were scattered all over the burning hell. They found their own places to stay temporarily and hibernated in the burning hell. With the control of the nether god curse and the erosion of the golden crow hell's bloodline, these demons all became Xia Ping's dependents. They were all loyal and could no longer betray him. It's finally born. Xia Ping's eyes lit up. His divine sense sank into the deepest part of his sea of consciousness. Whoosh! At this time, after devouring demon Felipe's corpse, the world tree immediately obtained great benefits. Its entire body seemed to have grown by at least a third. Every branch, every leaf, every root on its body became unprecedentedly powerful. Every time it swallowed energy, it formed a huge energy tide. It was like a divine tree standing in the vacuum of the universe. This was completely different from when Furukawa obtained the World Tree. At that time, the World Tree was only a seedling, but now it had the initial characteristics of a divine tree. It was as if the World Tree at this moment was filled with the laws of space, time, creation, life and death, and so on. It itself seemed to be an amalgamation of endless worlds. One could imagine how much origin energy the corpse of an invincible demon contained. Devouring the corpse of an invincible demon was equivalent to devouring the corpses of tens of thousands of primordial demons. However, invincible demons were not so easy to kill. After all, they grasped the life and death laws and could freely switch between life and death in their bodies. If not for the golden slime evolving and grasping the god-slaying power, it would have been difficult for him to kill Demon Felipe. He could only watch helplessly as Felipe escaped. But no matter what, he still won. He killed Demon Felipe and subdued all of Demon Felipe's subordinates, greatly strengthening the foundation of the Burning Hell's demons. After devouring the corpse of the invincible demon, the World Tree finally condensed a natural fruit called the Fruit of Life and Death. The fruit was black and white. One side was white and contained the power of the law of life, while the other side was black and contained the power of the law of death. The power of life and death was being nurtured in this fruit. If it wasn't for the World Tree's special ability, the universe wouldn't have given birth to such a heavenly fruit that could balance the power of life and death. This was truly an opportunity for the universe. At the same time, he could also sense how much life force this fruit contained. It simply surpassed all the other fruits Xia Ping had seen before. Is this the fruit of life and death that contains the life essence of the invincible demon? Xia Ping could feel every single cell of the golden crow of hell within his body stirring. They desired to devour this special fruit that contained the powers of life and death. They wanted nothing more than to swallow it immediately. With a snap, he swallowed the fruit of life and death without hesitation. Rumble, a moment later, the fruit of life and death entered Xia Ping's stomach, where it melted and transformed into life and death energy, which then entered his Dantian region, his sea of energy, his limbs, his bones, and even his meridians. What an enormous amount of energy! Xia Ping's eyes widened. He felt as if his body had devoured all the origin energy of dozens of worlds. If it weren't for the fact that he had 9 sea of consciousness spaces in his body, where every single cell contained the laws of the world, he definitely wouldn't have been able to contain the power of life and death. If an ordinary primordial demon were to consume this fruit of life and death, he would probably explode in an instant. All the laws of the world in his body would also explode. However, this fruit of life and death was just right for Xia Ping. This feels good. Xia Ping could feel the magic power in his body increasing at a rate visible to the naked eye. Generally speaking, if he wanted to fill every single cell in his body with magic power, he would need at least hundreds of millions of years of cultivation. However, after consuming this fruit of life and death, it was equivalent to devouring the life essence of an opponent that had cultivated for countless years, robbing them of their lifetime's cultivation. One could imagine just how great the benefits he would receive would be. The laws of life and death. However, the most important benefit for Xia Ping was the fragments of the laws of life and death contained in the fruit of life and death. He could feel the fragments of the laws of life and death flowing in the depths of his sea of consciousness. Although they were only fragments and not the complete laws of life and death, they still gave him a preliminary understanding of the laws of life and death, which would be of great benefit to him in comprehending the laws of the world. He could feel fragments of the laws of the world condensing in the depths of his sea of consciousness, constantly making up for the missing fragments of the laws of the world. After an unknown period of time, Xia Ping felt his body tremble. It was as if the endless ocean of energy had rushed to a certain bottleneck in his body. Mid-stage archaic realm. At this moment, Xia Ping sensed that he had finally broken through the bottleneck, advancing from the early-stage archaic realm to the mid-stage archaic realm. His strength had advanced by a small level. Moreover, this was just the beginning. The energy contained in the fruit of life and death was too great, causing the magic power in his body to increase rapidly, finally reaching the peak of the mid-stage archaic realm. It was as if he was just one step away from advancing to the late-stage archaic realm. Mid-stage archaic realm. Xia Ping's eyes lit up. After advancing to the mid-stage archaic realm, the internal space of the cells in his body that contained the laws of the world had also expanded further, doubling in size. The magic power that the cells of the laws of the world in his body could contain had also increased. It was as if every move of his contained great power, and his magic power alone could distort the vacuum of the universe. He could feel that the magic power in his body was unprecedentedly powerful. At the same time, the power of his divine sense had also improved. Previously, the range of his divine sense could cover a diameter of 10 million light-years. Now, it could cover 20 million light-years, doubling in size. Thanks to the growth of the power of his divine sense, his illusory ability had also improved. Golden Crow Hell Bloodline. Of course, the biggest benefit for Xia Ping was that the Golden Crow Hell Bloodline had also improved. Previously, he had awakened 5 trillion Golden Crow Hell cells, and now he had awakened 6 trillion Golden Crow Hell cells. It could be said that he had awakened a total of 1 trillion Golden Crow Hell cells this time, which was equivalent to the Golden Crow Hell bloodline in his body increasing by 20%. This was not a small number. It would not be long before he would be able to awaken 10 trillion Golden Crow Hell cells. When that time came, who knew what kind of transformation the Golden Crow Hell bloodline in his body would undergo? Chapter 28-22. 800 trillion Golden Crow Hell cells. Xia Ping's eyes lit up. In fact, now that the Golden Crow Hell bloodline in his body had been unsealed to this extent, he could vaguely sense where the limit of the Golden Crow Hell bloodline was. That was 100 trillion Golden Crow Hell cells, which was 100 trillion. If he completely unsealed 100 trillion Golden Crow Hell cells, he would completely inherit the Golden Crow Hell bloodline and control the demon god power of the Golden Crow Hell. Right now, the number of Golden Crow Hell cells in his body had reached 6 trillion. He wasn't far from 100 trillion. Thinking of this, Xia Ping immediately calmed down. He didn't feel happy or sad. To him, cultivation was something that would happen naturally. If he didn't rush it, he would reach the other side. The more impatient he was, the worse it would be for his cultivation. Rumble. Suddenly, with his body as the center, waves of terrifying energy were generated. They instantly affected the entire burning hell, seeming to resonate with the source of the burning hell. Xia Ping's Golden Crow Hell bloodline power also spread out. The void was filled with the special waves of the Golden Crow Hell. This bloodline power affected all the demons in the burning hell. Whoosh, all the demons in the burning hell subconsciously sensed the waves. They felt that the demon bloodline in their bodies seemed to have become pure. All the demons' strength increased by different degrees. Even the primordial demons felt that their bloodline had evolved. They seemed to have fused with the demon god bloodline. Wisps of flames were born in the depths of their blood. The nether god mark in the depths of countless demons' souls trembled and spread out unique waves. Wisps of soul power were emitted and then instilled into Xia Ping. Although the nether god curse was a bloodline ability to control many demons, it was also a cultivation support ability. It could use the power of countless demons to refine the demon god power in one's own body. Unknowingly, the Golden Crow Hell cells in Xia Ping's body were unsealed. The bloodline power also became denser and denser. Boom! In the sky above the palace, the shadow of the Golden Crow Hell appeared. It emitted an unparalleled demon god power, as if it had left the mark of the demon god in the burning hell. The source of the burning hell seemed to be constantly strengthening, evolving into a high-level plane of hell. At the same time, the news of Felipe's death and his subordinates surrendering to the burning hell spread like wildfire through the hell of Blue Lotus. Soon, all of the fiend devils knew about it. This incident caused a huge uproar in the Blue Lotus hell. Almost every demon knew about it. What did you say? Invincible demon Felipe was killed by the Lord of the burning hell, Dingdu. He couldn't even escape, and Felipe's subordinates were so scared that they surrendered. Are you kidding me? An invincible demon couldn't help but jump when he heard the report from his spy. He looked at his subordinate in disbelief. Because this was an inconceivable matter. Who was Felipe? He was a demon of the invincible realm, a powerful demon that truly stood at the top of hell. Even an invincible demon of the same level could not kill him. The only way to kill Felipe was to be surrounded by void monsters. But even so, there must be a sufficient number of void monsters to succeed. After all, even if an invincible demon couldn't defeat his opponent, he could easily escape. But now, the fiend Fengdu, who was said to be at the archaic realm, had actually killed the invincible fiend Felipe. How could it possibly believe such news? To be honest, when he heard the news, he thought his subordinate had gone crazy. Lord, it's true. I saw it with my own eyes. That invincible demon Felipe was hit by Dengdu's sword. His entire body was shattered, and his soul was destroyed. He couldn't be more dead. The demon was trembling all over. Without a doubt, Dengdu is definitely pretending to be weak. He is an invincible realm demon. He can't be an immemorial realm demon. It was terrified to the extreme. Fortunately, it had escaped in time. Otherwise, it might have been killed by the devil Tsangdu and died without a complete corpse. And I'm not the only one who saw it. All the spies who went to the burning hell saw it. There's no doubt about it, the demon said firmly. Invincible demon? That explains it. No, even if Dengdu is an invincible realm demon, it's hard to explain this. What kind of power can kill an invincible realm demon so easily? What does that guy have? The invincible demon's expression was extremely ugly. He was extremely terrified. Dengdu could kill invincible demon Felipe, so naturally, it could kill him too. This was the same logic. After all, he wasn't much stronger than Felipe. Thinking that there was a demon in this place that could kill him, he felt like there was a blade on his back. I'm not sure, but some demons guessed that Dengdu might have a magic treasure of the demon god level. That's why he could kill an invincible realm demon. The subordinate demon voiced his conjecture. A magic treasure of the demon god level? That's very possible. Hearing this, the invincible demon couldn't help but nod in agreement. Although magic treasures of the demon god level were very rare in hell, it wasn't that they didn't exist. Moreover, every one of them was controlled by powerful invincible demons with the bloodline of the demon god. In fact, every magic treasure of the demon god level could unleash earth-shattering power that was far beyond the imagination of other invincible demons. If Dengdu had such a magic treasure, he indeed had the ability to kill invincible demon Felipe. Moreover, we also guessed that Dengdu might have found the magic treasure of the demon god level in the burning hell. Otherwise, he wouldn't have appeared in this middle hell plane and guarded it. Moreover, the burning hell might have an unimaginable earth-shattering secret. The demon said in a deep voice. What? There was a glimmer of light in the eyes of the invincible demon. Hearing this, he couldn't sit still. If the burning hell had so many earth-shattering secrets, and even the magic treasure of the demon god was obtained in that place, then it would be terrible. At this moment, he was so jealous that his intestines turned green. Why didn't he find the magic treasure of the demon god, but the unknown demon Dengdu got it? This was too unfair. If he could get his hands on it, he would be able to rule over the hell of the Green Lotus. No invincible fiend devil would be able to stop him. He would truly be invincible. Chapter 28-24. In the blink of an eye, several months had passed. In these few months, the burning hell had been peaceful. Many invincible demons in the Green Lotus Hell were afraid of Xia Ping's strength and did not dare to come over to check. After all, this was a power that could kill the invincible demon Felipe. Which invincible demon would not be afraid of it? If they did not find out what was going on, they would not casually make a move. In any case, they had been running amok in hell for a long time. As the saying goes, the longer one lived, the more afraid they were of death. They naturally did not dare to be as reckless and impulsive as those imbecile demons. Therefore, the burning hell was still relatively peaceful at this moment, as if nothing had happened before. At this moment, in the central palace of the burning hell. Boom! At this moment, Xia Ping, who was in seclusion, finally opened his eyes, revealing a terrifying light that seemed to pierce through the void of hell, erupting with a terrifying aura and power. After several months of seclusion cultivation, he had completely consolidated the power of the middle-stage archaic realm. He could be said to be completely familiar with his skyrocketing power. It could be said that compared to a few months ago, he was at least 2 to 3 times stronger. It seemed that it would not take long for him to break through to the late-stage archaic realm. This was because the energy contained in the life and death fruit refined by the invincible demon was too great. Even with Xia Ping's strong foundation, it had brought him great benefits. Even now, this benefit still hadn't been exhausted. It could be imagined just how powerful an invincible demon was, and how much blood essence energy was contained within its body. Did anything happen in the past few months? Xia Ping moved his mind and asked Corinne and Green Ox. Nothing major happened. After killing the invincible demon Felipe, those invincible demons in the Green Lotus Hell seemed to have quietened down, as if nothing had happened, Corinne said in a deep voice. But there is still some movement. However, there's still some movement. According to the information sent back by our spies in the Green Lotus Hell, the invincible abyss devils of the Green Lotus Hell seem to be planning to hold a meeting. I wonder what they plan to discuss. Perhaps they're discussing how to deal with the burning hell? The Green Ox voiced his guess. Holding a meeting? Is this considered normal? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. No, it's not normal at all. In fact, other than when they're about to lose each other and have no choice but to hold a peace conference, they won't meet at any other time. Corinne said, and at this time, they suddenly held a meeting. No matter how I think about it, it feels a bit like they are targeting our burning hell. We must be very careful about this. Is there any way to find out what their meetings are about? Xia Ping asked. There's nothing we can do. They're too secretive. Other than the invincible demons themselves, no other demons have the right to know the contents of the meeting, the Green Ox said. Since that's the case, let's go meet them. Xia Ping clenched his fist. What? Meet them? Master, this isn't a joke. Those are all invincible demons, and there are over 100 of them. Although Master has killed an invincible demon before, the combined power of over 100 invincible demons isn't something that can be taken lightly. It's not something that Felipe can compare to. The Green Ox's eyes widened. He didn't expect his master to make such a bold decision. He even plans to meet those invincible demons. Isn't this courting death? Don't be nervous. Even if we can't beat those invincible demons, we're still very confident in escaping. Moreover, it's obvious that the purpose of these demons is to deal with our burning hell. If we don't deal with these demons now, don't tell me we'll have to wait for them to join forces to deal with us? Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back. The Green Ox and Corinne didn't know what to say. They naturally knew this. The location of the burning hell is very important because this place is the only void channel connecting the main universe. If this place is occupied by those invincible demons, it is equivalent to cutting off their retreat. Even if they give up the burning hell and run away, how can they return to the hell world in the future? Therefore, this place is equivalent to their base camp in hell, and they can't afford to lose it. If these invincible demons join forces, unite as one and send an army, then according to the current strength of the burning hell, it is impossible to stop these demon coalition forces. The problem is that even if they know this, there is no way to stop it. After all, the battle power gap between the two sides is still too big. Even if the current Xia Ping can deal with an invincible demon, it is impossible to deal with hundreds of invincible demons. In the face of such powerful demons, if they still fight head-on, I'm afraid there is only a dead end. Are you worried that I am not the opponent of those invincible demons? Xia Ping faintly smiled as he saw through Corinne and Azure Ox's thoughts. You don't need to worry about this. Perhaps you have forgotten that I am still the Lord of Green Lotus Hell, and I have already controlled the source of Green Lotus Hell. If I fight in Green Lotus Hell, I can immediately control all the power of Green Lotus Hell and exert hundreds and thousands of times more battle power than myself. There is such a thing. The Green Ox and Corinne were taken aback. They did remember Xia Ping's identity as the Lord of Green Lotus Hell, but they also thought that it was just an identity. They didn't expect it to have such a function. That was why the position of ruler of a high-level hell plane was so coveted by the invincible fiend devils. As long as they could control the essence of a high-level hell plane, they would be able to fuse with it and unleash every bit of its power to unleash unparalleled combat prowess. Even if an immemorial demon becomes the lord of a high hell plane lord, after obtaining the blessing of the hell plane lord, it can easily hang a group of invincible demons. If an invincible demon were to become the master of a high-level hell plane, then it would truly be an invincible existence. It could kill any demon it wanted, and even an invincible demon wouldn't be able to resist it. At the same time, with the blessing of the hell plane lord, its cultivation will also progress at lightning speed. It can easily comprehend the many laws of the hell plane, and it will be easier to advance to the demon god realm. There is a legend in hell that if one wants to become a top demon god, he must first become the lord of a high hell plane lord, otherwise it is impossible to advance to demon god. Therefore, it can be imagined how attractive this position is to those invincible demons. Becoming the lord of a high hell plane lord is the prerequisite to becoming the lord of hell. Chapter 28-25. Several days later, Xia Ping and Luna arrived at the Green Lotus Hell alone. This was the first time Xia Ping had returned to the Green Lotus Hell after becoming an archaic saint. As soon as he stepped into the Green Lotus Hell, Xia Ping's heart skipped a beat. He immediately sensed the joy of the Green Lotus Hell's origin. All the origin energy was boiling, as if it was welcoming him home. Whoosh, the entire Green Lotus Hell's origin energy surged into his body. The origin energy seemed to be flowing freely into every corner of his body. With his body as the center, a terrifying energy whirlpool with a diameter of several thousand light-years seemed to form. Logically speaking, such a huge hell phenomenon would definitely alarm all the demons in the Green Lotus Hell. However, under the influence of the Green Lotus Hell's origin energy, such a hell phenomenon seemed to be isolated in a separate space. No demon in the Green Lotus Hell could sense any aura leaking out. It was as if Xia Ping had already merged into the Green Lotus Hell, and his existence had been erased. No, perhaps it wasn't that his existence had been erased. Instead, he was standing in a higher dimension. It was as if life forms in lower dimensions were unable to sense life forms in higher dimensions. This feeling... At this moment, Xia Ping sensed that he was the Green Lotus Hell, and the Green Lotus Hell was him. He could control every corner of the Green Lotus Hell and every wisp of Hell's origin energy. It was as if he was the true ruler of this plane of Hell, a true god. With a single thought, he could change the geography of the Hell of the Green Lotus. In fact, he could control the energy of the entire high-level Hell at will and unleash millions of times his combat strength. Any abyss devil who fought him in the Blue Lotus Hell would die. They would instantly be crushed into dregs by the enormous amount of origin energy. My God! When Green Ox and Corinne perceived this scene, they were simply dumbfounded. Being dumbfounded was not enough to describe their shock at this moment. They could be considered as having seen countless saints. They had even seen many invincible saints. However, they could sense that Xia Ping, who was in the Green Lotus Hell, was terrifyingly powerful. It was as if he had truly transformed into a demon god. Every move he made contained supreme heavenly might. At this moment, they immediately relaxed. Xia Ping, who was in the Green Lotus Hell, was truly invincible. No matter how many demons attacked him together, they couldn't hurt him at all. Is this the master of a high-level hell? No wonder countless demons covet this position. It's so powerful. This is the power of a high-level hell. Green Ox and Corinne couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva, incomparably shocked in their hearts. As expected of Master. Luna, who was at the side, had a look of worship on her face. She could feel her body trembling, not out of fear, but out of incomparable excitement, as though the immortal cells deep within her body were boiling. At this moment, Xia Ping's consciousness also noticed a trace of Luna's energy fluctuation. Xia Ping's Hell, Xia Ping's Ling. At this Ping's Qin, Saint, Ping and Yang Qin Ping. Star Ping's Qin Hell, Qin Lu, Chin Ping, and Lotus Hell and Ping God, Ping Yang Yang, Ping Hell Yang, Ping Yang, Ping Hell, Ping, long as Yang and Yang He Ping, Chin Ping. These are God's flesh and cells. Xia Ping's eyes gleamed. He finally understood why countless sages were unable to kill Luna when it was only at the lightning tribulation realm. Instead, they had sealed it up. Even ordinary immortal saints weren't this terrifying. They could still be killed by high-level saints. However, Luna couldn't be killed by other saints. Not even invincible saints could. Now, he finally knew the reason. It was because the immortal and indestructible cells in Luna's body came from the flesh and blood of God. Only the immortal and indestructible characteristics of God could make many invincible sages helpless, and they could only choose to seal her. Dragon scientist Titania. What a lunatic. Xia Ping was shocked. He finally understood why all the saints in the universe wanted to kill Titania. That woman dared to use God's flesh and blood for experiments. She created a monster that was almost uncontrollable. If it wasn't for him, Luna would probably be an unkillable abomination after being released. She might even be more terrifying than the abyssal demon tree. It wasn't strange at all to be called a monster that could destroy the world. He could even sense that Luna's body didn't just contain God's flesh and blood. There was also a lot of special dark matter that contained terrifying destructive power. He didn't know where it came from. I can't meet with that crazy woman. Xia Ping had a feeling that she was even more terrifying than the demon lord. There was nothing she didn't dare to do. He didn't know how many trump cards she had. No matter what, Titania was a dragon from the dragon race. They were a race that survived from the previous universe. Who knew how many secrets and special powers they had? What's wrong, master? Luna blinked and looked at Xia Ping curiously. It's nothing. Work hard to become stronger. I still need your help with many things. Xia Ping patted Luna's head. Okay, I got it. Luna nodded seriously. She looked happy. All right, I have to meet that group of invincible demons. Let me think where they are. Xia Ping closed his eyes and merged his consciousness with the Green Lotus Hell's origin. In an instant, every corner of the Green Lotus Hell turned into a huge, detailed map in his sea of consciousness. At the same time, the auras of countless demons appeared. In particular, the invincible demons didn't conceal their powerful auras of the law of life and death. They appeared in the Green Lotus Hell like the sun, moon, and stars. They've actually gathered. This saves me a lot of effort. In the next second, Xia Ping sensed that a total of 108 invincible demons had appeared in the Green Lotus Hell. They were all gathered in the center of the Green Lotus Hell. That was where the demon god's ruins were. They seemed to have chosen an empty space near the demon god's ruins to hold a closed-door meeting. The invincible demons had also set up densely packed restrictive formations around it. Apart from the invincible demons, no other demons could get close. No demons could even eavesdrop on the contents of the meeting. Xia Ping's figure flashed, and he arrived near the conference center. Chapter 28-26. At the moment, in the center of Green Lotus Hell, there was an open space. 108 invincible realm demons were gathered there. They were all gathered there. It could be said that they were all the invincible demons of Green Lotus Hell. Of course, the number of invincible demons couldn't be compared to Green Lotus Hell at its peak. After all, most of the invincible demons had died because of the invasion of the void monsters. To make up for enough invincible demons, this little bit of time was far from enough. Invincible demons appeared there one after another, giving off an unfathomable aura. It was as if they were small universes themselves, and their bodies contained terrifying origin energy. Everyone, I believe that you know very well why I've summoned you here for this meeting. The invincible realm demon Cecilio who spoke first was a hell elephant. It had the body of a huge elephant, and it was pitch black. It was like a towering mountain that couldn't be climbed, and it was insurmountable. Moreover, this was the form it took after shrinking its real body. If its real body appeared, it would be millions of kilometers long. Even in the vacuum of the universe, It would be a terrifying space monster. Just by standing there, one could feel the extremely terrifying power in its body. In fact, it had a trace of demon god's bloodline, which came from the Hell Divine elephant. Legend had it that the Hell Divine elephant had once suppressed countless hell planes. Its power was immense, and it suppressed hell. It was one of the strongest demon gods. And this invincible demon had inherited the Hell Divine elephant. It had the demon god's bloodline, and it also had terrifying power that could suppress other invincible demons. With a light step of its hoof, the continent would be shattered and split into pieces. It could be said that Hell Elephant Cecilio was one of the strongest invincible demons. That was why he had the right to speak first, and what he said convinced the other invincible demons. Of course we know why we're holding this meeting. It's to deal with the burning hell's demon Fengdu, an invincible demon said. That's right, it's to deal with the demon Fengdu. This guy killed the invincible demon Felipe and displayed terrifying power. This is a huge threat to the invincible demons of Green Lotus Hell. Hell Elephant Cecilio said in a low voice, if he can easily kill the invincible demon Felipe, then he can naturally easily kill us invincible demons. This is a threat that can't be ignored, and we have to take it seriously. If one day we become enemies with the demon Fengdu, then will we also be killed? Its expression was solemn. To be honest, even though it possessed the demon god's bloodline and was stronger than ordinary invincible evil demons, it was not easy to kill an invincible evil demon of the same level. After all, if the situation was not good, the other invincible demons would quickly escape. Even if they could not defeat him, they could still escape. After hearing this, it and Demon Fengdu, it would be Demon Fengdu. It Fengdu would be. And Demon Fdu would have been. After hearing this news, it immediately felt threatened by the Demon Fengdu. After all, no one would want a demon that could kill them at any time to appear near them. And which invincible Fengd Fun. Of course we know about the threat of that Demon Fengdu. Did you summon us here to join forces and kill that Demon Fengdu? The one who spoke was the invincible demon Kashmir. It was a hellhound, and it also had the demon god's bloodline. It emitted the terrifying hell's origin energy, and darkness, corruption, and corrosion. It seemed like its claws were terrifying, and it could tear the void with a light swipe. Moreover, its nose was very sharp. As long as it smelled its aura, it could track it even to the end of hell. At the same time, it was very powerful. It had inherited the hellhound's demon god three-headed hellhound's bloodline. Legend had it that the hellhound guarded the gates of hell, and it was a terrifying demon god that stopped countless enemies from invading hell. Such an existence's combat power was also very powerful, and it wasn't inferior to Hell Elephant Cecilio. That's right. I called you here to deal with the demon Fengdu. As long as we work together to kill the demon Fengdu, he won't be able to threaten us. Hell Elephant Cecilio said in a low voice. That sounds better than a song. This is a terrifying existence that can kill the invincible demon Felipe. Who knows what other terrifying trump cards he has? One of the invincible demons sneered. Even if we work together, can we really kill him? Even if we can, we will have to pay the price of injuring or killing an invincible demon. Who would be willing to be cannon fodder and become a demon? It was very straightforward. Of course, they could deal with the demon Fengdu, but they would only wave the flag and shout battle cries. They would definitely not be the vanguard and risk their lives for other invincible demons. That's right, that invincible demon Felipe only has himself to blame for causing trouble in the burning hell. He has already invaded his territory, so he deserves to be killed. As long as we don't provoke him, we might be fine. Another invincible demon said. That's right. You want us to risk our lives for nothing? You're a little too naive. An invincible demon sneered. Although some demons were afraid of Fengdu, there were also some invincible demons who didn't have any feelings for Fengdu. After all, they were too far apart, and there was no threat at all. If they could easily kill Fengdu, of course they would agree. But if Fengdu had the power to retaliate and might kill them, then they would have to think twice. They couldn't ignore their own safety. After all, they were very comfortable staying in their own territory. There was no need to leave and risk their lives. You guys really have no foresight. Don't you know that Demon Fengdu has a plane that is about to become a high-level hell plane? If we can control that middle-level hell plane, then we will all be able to turn the heavens upside down. In the future, we will no longer need to live in other demons' territories, nor do we need to fear void monsters. Cecilio shouted, "Do you know how great the benefits of becoming a high-level Hellplane's master are? Don't you want to become a demon god?" He revealed a look of disappointment. Of course we know about the benefits. The problem is that there is only one position of the Hellplane's master. Who do you plan to give it to? An invincible demon asked, looking at Cecilio. Chapter 28-27. Of course we'll split it equally. Cecilio the Hell Elephant said matter-of-factly. It said that the burning hell is also a middle hell plane with vast territory and abundant resources. There's an incredible amount of wealth in there. At the same time, Fengdu might have a lot of treasures on him. We can split them equally with so many invincible demons. Of course, there's only one position as the master of the burning hell, so we can't split it equally. But it doesn't matter. After we get it, we'll think of a fair way to distribute it. If you don't trust this cooperation method, we can sign the hell contract to bind our souls and maintain absolute fairness and justice. It glanced at the invincible demons to show that it was absolutely fair and without any selfish motives. I have no doubts about the cooperation method. Even if we can't get any treasures, it's worth it to get rid of this big trouble. But how can we kill this kid? An invincible demon asked in a deep voice. After all, Fengdu is likely an invincible demon. As long as he gets the news and runs away immediately, we won't be able to catch up. It looked at Cecilio the Hell Elephant. There's no need to worry about that. I've already thought of a way. When we get close to the burning hell, we'll immediately activate the sealing formation and surround the entire burning hell. Cecilio the Hell Elephant laughed out loud. This way, no matter what that kid does, he won't be able to escape our grasp. He'll be trapped in the burning hell until he dies. And with our strength, we don't need to be afraid of that kid at all. 108 invincible demons will personally take action. That Fengdu is just one demon. Can't we defeat him? At the end of its words, it even asked a question in return. With so many invincible demons working together, there was no reason that they couldn't defeat him. Well, what you said makes sense. The invincible demons nodded in agreement with Cecilio the Hell Elephant's words. Since that's the case, there's no time to lose. Let's hurry up and sign this hell's contract. After all, that Fengdu demon might get some information and run away in advance. If that happens, we'll lose more than we gain. Let's take advantage of the time when that brat doesn't have any reaction to attack and catch him off guard. Cecilio the Hell Elephant said fiercely. In that case, I agree to this. Count me in. That demon Fengdu is indeed very dangerous. It has the mysterious power to kill other invincible demons. We can't let this guy continue to exist. That's right. This kind of invincible demon is too dangerous. Who can guarantee that they won't offend this invincible demon Fengdu? It's better for this kid to die now. Only then will everyone feel at ease. Let's sign the contract. This demonic necropolis is too dangerous. We'll only be able to sleep peacefully if that kid dies. The invincible demons nodded. The reason why they agreed to hunt down Demon Fengdu together was not only to obtain most of the treasures on Demon Fengdu. At the same time, it was also because this guy was too dangerous. Even the strongest invincible demon here, the Hell Elephant Cecilio, couldn't kill an invincible demon that wanted to escape. At most, he could heavily injure it. But this Fengdu devil could. Any invincible devil would feel uncomfortable hearing this news. As invincible demons, they were already used to being immortal. How could they tolerate the existence of such a threat? Even if it wasn't for the treasure, they had to eradicate such a threat. Very well. The Hell Elephant Cecilio smiled. It didn't expect the meeting to go so smoothly. It was passed without any objections. From this, it could be seen how threatening Demon Fengdu Devil was. Even though they had never met Demon Fengdu Devil, they wanted this kid to disappear in hell. Oh, you want to kill me? There's no need to go to the burning hell. I'm right here. Just come and kill me. At this moment, a voice came from midair. The voice was like a bolt from the blue, instantly shocking all the invincible demons. What demon? All the invincible demons turned pale with fright. They looked up in disbelief and saw a figure appear in midair. They couldn't help but be shocked. After all, there were so many invincible demons gathered here. There was actually another demon that sneaked into the conference center without being discovered by any invincible demons. How unbelievable was this? If such an existence carried out an assassination, wouldn't a few of them be killed? All of their hair stood on end. They felt a chill run down their spines. What demon? Didn't you want to kill me? I listened to your discussion for a long time. The figure in midair stood with his hands behind his back, looking down at the invincible demons. Your demon Fengdu devil. One of the invincible demons, Kelly, couldn't help but scream. He widened his eyes and stared at the figure in midair. What? All the invincible demons woke up with a start. It was unbelievable. They didn't expect Demon Fengdu, whom they wanted to kill, to appear in front of them. Not only that, he had even swaggered his way into the meeting of so many invincible demons without the slightest scruple. Just how audacious was he? Just how unbridled was he? He had absolutely no regard for them at all. It should be known that any demon, even an invincible demon, would be unable to eat or sleep in peace if they knew that these demons had joined forces. They might even flee in the middle of the night, not daring to stay. But this demon Fengdu didn't run away. Instead, he appeared in front of them without any scruples. This was simply arrogant. This was a provocation. This was a provocation. The invincible demons couldn't help but feel a trace of anger from the depths of their hearts. Since when were invincible demons looked down on to this extent? Was he really not afraid that they would kill him? That's right. I'm Fengdu. Xia Ping appeared directly in front of these invincible demons, not hiding his identity at all. After receiving the support of the Green Lotus Hell Source, his battle prowess was unprecedentedly strong. Even if he was facing 108 invincible demons, he wouldn't feel the slightest fear. Instead, the golden crow of hell's bloodline in his body boiled, surging with endless battle intent. An unparalleled demonic aura emanated from his body, enveloping the area within a radius of tens of thousands of light years. Very good. Since you're Fengdu, then die. This saves us the trip to the burning hell. I'll kill you here right now. Cecilio the Hell Elephant roared angrily. His body emanated violent power, and he was the first to attack. He attacked Xia Ping at an incredible speed. Chapter 28-28 Bloodline Magic, Divine Elephant Charge. In an instant, Cecilio the Hell Elephant charged over. The countless cells of the Hell Divine Elephant in its body were boiling, as if each cell contained the energy of a small world. One could imagine how terrifying the power of hell was in its body. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that it was the strongest demon. Its charge was like a landslide and a tsunami, as if the power of thousands of worlds had gathered together. It emitted world-destroying power. It could really kill gods and demons in its way. Its body was vaguely wrapped by the boundless power of hell's origin, forming a huge energy shield. Under the shield's obstruction, it reached the realm of invincibility. During its charge, its body became completely domineering. All spells and spells were useless against it. They were all repelled by the power of the Hell Divine Elephant and instantly reflected. In fact, this was one of the reasons why the Hell Divine Elephant could dominate hell. It had extreme power and could reflect all spells and spells, using power to suppress everything. Even though Cecilio the Hell Elephant wasn't as terrifying as the Hell Divine Elephant, as a descendant who inherited the bloodline of the demon god, it could still display the terrifying power of the demon god's bloodline. Too strong. As expected of a demon who inherited the bloodline of the Hell Divine Elephant. This power is simply unstoppable. It said that when Cecilio charged at full force, a high-level hellplane was damaged beyond repair. God knows how many demons were turned into meat paste. Although Cecilio the Hell Elephant isn't proficient in spells, he can crush all demons with this pure power. How amazing! Many invincible demons were shocked to see this scene. Even though they had seen Cecilio the Hell Mammoth in action countless times, they were still amazed every time they saw it. That was the purest power of the divine elephant that ordinary demons couldn't match. With just a single collision, most of the demons would probably be smashed to death and turned into a pile of meat paste. Even their souls would be shattered into powder by the impact. It was very simple, very barbaric, and could be described as a primitive method. But it allowed Cecilio the Hell Elephant to dominate hell. Even invincible demons were terrified of it. Many of the invincible demons present had been severely injured by Cecilio the Hell Elephant. That was why it could gather so many invincible demons to hold a meeting. Every invincible demon had to give it face. However, because its speed was not as terrifying as its strength, even if the invincible demons could not defeat Cecilio, they could still escape with their speed. Otherwise, if Cecilio's speed could keep up, he would have become the absolute overlord of the Green Lotus Hell a long time ago. Not bad. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He could also feel Cecilio's unreasonable brute force. Cecilio was the strongest invincible saint he had ever seen. He was too unreasonable. It was as if he could shatter countless divine abilities and magical arts and shatter the power of laws just by relying on the strength of his body. In the past, Xia Ping could only retreat in the face of such power. However, after obtaining the endless support of the Green Lotus Hell origin, he no longer cared about such power. In the blink of an eye, he made his move. Standing in midair, he gazed at Cecilio the Hell Elephant who was crashing towards him with one arm. Boom! In the next second, Cecilio the Hell Elephant's brute force crashed over as though thousands of great thousand worlds were crashing down at the same time, causing the Hell's void to explode. Any invincible demon would find it difficult to resist this pure brute force. It seemed as if even the void of hell could not withstand this terrifying power and began to shatter like glass. Countless cracks appeared in the void, and these cracks were like spider webs. But at this instant, this brute force was stopped. A hand pressed on Cecilio the Hell Elephant's head. It was clearly an ordinary hand, but it stopped Cecilio the Hell Elephant's charge. It was as though all the brute force vanished without a trace in front of this hand and was devoured cleanly. No matter how hard Cecilio the Hell Elephant tried, his face flushed red, he couldn't move an inch. Impossible! What kind of joke is this? He stopped Cecilio the Hell Elephant's charge with one hand. Is he crazy? We must be crazy. We must be hallucinating because we're too tired. How can any demon stop Cecilio? Crazy. He's completely crazy. What exactly is going on? The invincible demons were dumbfounded and couldn't believe their eyes. At this moment, Cecilio, who was known to be the strongest in hell, used the divine elephant's charge, which was said to be able to create cracks in the plane of hell. But at this very moment, it was easily stopped by a hand, as if it was being pressed down by a strong force. How could they believe such a ridiculous fact? Not only were the invincible demons in disbelief, but Cecilio the Hell Elephant also couldn't accept the reality before him. He simply went crazy because losing to other demons in terms of strength was a devastating blow to his psyche. Impossible. You're just a skinny abyssal demon. How could you block the attack of the strongest abyssal demon in hell with just one hand? What scheme did you use? Cecilio the Hell Elephant roared, his face filled with indignation. Unfortunately, he couldn't push the guy in front of him away no matter how hard he tried. It was as though that hand was all-encompassing and he wasn't just pushing a demon away, but the entire plane of hell. No matter how hard he tried, it was useless. It was like an ant trying to shake a tree. The strongest demon. Xia Ping said indifferently, "You're really a frog in a well. Who gave you such a title? You can't say that you're the strongest with just this little bit of strength." To be honest, Xia Ping, who had obtained the support of the Green Lotus Hell's origin power, had endless power in his body. He could mobilize the power of the entire Green Lotus Hell with a single thought. It could be said that Cecilio the Hell Elephant wasn't fighting against Xia Ping, but the entire Green Lotus Hell. How could the power of an invincible demon compare to the entire plane of hell? Moreover, the Green Lotus Hell wasn't an ordinary plane of hell. It was a world that was evolving towards the demon god plane. It was much stronger than the other ordinary planes of hell. He was dreaming if he thought he could contend against Xia Ping with a mere infernal elephant. Third sect leader. Chapter 28-29. I don't believe that I can't defeat you. You're just a weak little demon. How can you stop me, who has the bloodline of the hell god elephant? Go to hell. Cecilio the hell god elephant was enraged. He was completely enraged. A terrifying demonic aura erupted from his body. It was as if every cell of the hell god elephant in his body was bursting out. With his body as the center, boundless blood-colored light was released. It was as if the shadow of the hell god elephant had appeared behind him, emitting a mighty force that could suppress the endless hells. Bloodline divine ability, trampling of the divine elephant. In an instant, Cecilio the hell god elephant activated the power of the bloodline in his body. He seemed to have used all his strength as his 4 elephant hooves trampled in the void of hell. Walala, unknowingly, billions of hell god elephants had appeared in midair. They covered the entire area and roared at the sky. Their 4 elephant hooves were trampling madly. In just a second, the billions of hell god elephants seemed to have produced trillions of tremors. At the same time, they erupted with terrifying tremors as if they had detonated sound waves that could shatter the world. Not good. Retreat. Cecilio the hell god elephant has gone completely crazy. We must not get involved. Otherwise, we'll definitely die. He actually forced Cecilio to use the trampling of the divine elephant. What's the background of this demon Fengdu? The many invincible demons' expressions changed drastically as they panicked. They knew that Cecilio the hell god elephant's strongest ultimate skill, trampling of the divine elephant. This ultimate skill allowed the hell god elephant to transform into billions of clones, creating the phenomenon of billions of giant elephants trampling on hell. The trampling power produced by each hell god elephant seemed to be able to crush a great thousand world. Just how terrifying was the trampling force produced by the billions of hellish mammoths at the same time? In fact, the trampling force could even stack with each other, layer upon layer, like waves upon waves of the sea, forming a destructive force that could topple mountains and tsunamis. Such an attack had an area of effect that could cover hundreds of thousands of light years. Back then, Cecilio the hell god elephant had also used this move several times. However, every time it was used, it would result in the destruction of lives. The area of hundreds of thousands of light years was razed to the ground. Even void monsters couldn't block the hell elephant Cecilio's divine elephant trample. It was as if an undying and indestructible void monster could be turned into meat paste with a single stomp. They wouldn't be able to recover in a short period of time. Of course, this attack didn't distinguish between friend and foe. Once it was used, this power would affect its own people, and both sides would be killed by the hell elephant Cecilio. Therefore, under normal circumstances, Cecilio the hell elephant wouldn't use this move. He didn't expect that not long after, Cecilio would use a move that would destroy both sides. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The invincible demons were scared out of their wits. They fled one after another, trying to get away from the range of the divine elephant trampling. Rumble. A terrifying vibration force erupted from Cecilio's body, seemingly forming the most terrifying vibration law. It turned into billions of destructive ripples, presenting a black destructive force. This kind of vibration wave crushed over, simply crushing everything. It was like the wave of doomsday, annihilating all matter. Noisy! Xia Ping only said this one sentence, but with his body as the center, the space of tens of millions of light years in hell came to a standstill. It was as if even time had stopped. All the invincible demons stopped. At this moment, not only were they unable to move, even their thoughts had stopped. It was as if they had entered a state of absolute stillness. This was the current Xia Ping. With the support of the Green Lotus Hell's origin energy, he had reached a realm where his words were law. He was in the Green Lotus Hell, and he could use the 3,000 laws of the Green Lotus Hell. He was the god of this world, and he could easily change the operation of this world. Disappear. Xia Ping waved his hand lightly, and with a boom, the flow of time returned to normal. However, at this moment, the billions of Hell Elephant clones were smashed to pieces, turning into nothingness. All of the Hell Elephant's trampling power was cancelled out, and all of the destructive power disappeared without a trace. It was as if all of the power had been wiped out by a great power. What? After the flow of time returned to normal, the many panicked invincible demons were stunned. They had planned to flee and avoid Cecilio the Hell Elephant's attack. However, at this moment, Cecilio the Hell Elephant's attack disappeared without a trace. If it weren't for the fact that their senses were very real, they would have thought that what had just happened was an illusion. However, Cecilio the Hell Elephant was the most dumbfounded of all. It wasn't angry, just stunned and confused. It had no idea what had just happened. After all, even it didn't know how its strongest attack had disappeared. It was as if it had fallen into a dream. Could it be that everything that had just happened was a dream? Fall. Before Cecilio the Hell Elephant could figure out what was going on, Xia Ping gently pointed at Cecilio the Hell Elephant. Boom. In the blink of an eye, Cecilio the Hell Elephant, who had been in midair, suddenly plummeted and smashed into the ground like a meteor, creating a huge crater. Suddenly, Cecilio the Hell Elephant's body was covered in dense chains formed by the law of gravity. They immediately suppressed Cecilio the Hell Elephant. It was as if 1,000,000,000,000 mountains were pressing down on Cecilio the Hell Elephant. No matter how strong Cecilio the Hell Elephant was, it couldn't break free. Damn Fengdu, what did you do? What did you do to me? Let go of me. Cecilio the Hell Elephant was dumbfounded. It realized that even with its invincible brute force, it couldn't get up from the ground at this moment. It was as if its limbs were sealed. No matter how hard it tried, it couldn't break free from the terrifying gravity. This was simply the greatest torture for Cecilio the Hell Elephant, who had always been domineering. It roared and tried to break free. However, the law of gravity was condensed from the origin of the entire Green Lotus Hell. It was equivalent to a high-level plane of hell coming to suppress invincible demons. No matter how angry Cecilio the Hell Elephant was, it couldn't break free from the law of gravity's seal. At this moment, it was as weak as the most ordinary demon. It can't be. When the invincible demons saw this scene, endless fear surged in their hearts. They couldn't help but gulp, and a look of disbelief appeared on their faces. Cecilio the Hell Elephant was a terrifying, invincible demon. It could be said to be a half-step demon god. But now, it was like a baby that couldn't resist Fengdu at all. If they hadn't witnessed this scene, they would never have believed such a fact. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.